Electric is what gets you there. Mercedes-Benz is what moves you in ways no other automaker can. Feel the freedom of the superbly versatile 7-seater EQB. Revel in the inspired, customizable comfort of the EQE sedan. Sense the brilliant intelligence of the EQE SUV. Discover the boundless capability of the EQS SUV. And luxuriate in the flagship meets spaceship magnificence of the EQS sedan. Every Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle offers the very latest MBUX voice-activated AI software, as well as remote access to a whole host of functions via the Mercedes Me Connect app. The vehicle's electric, the feeling all Mercedes, the choice all yours. Test drive a Mercedes-Benz electric today at your local dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
WKGN 1340. Go Balls!
You're tuned in to East Tennessee's premier sports radio call-in show. This is The Drive.
And hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another stellar edition of The Drive here on Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith, punching the time clock. It's 3:02 on a Thursday afternoon edition of the show. Hope you're doing well. I'm tired.
What?
Just hit me.
It's Thursday.
Tired.
Got to be honest. I am too.
Tired?
A little bit. I'm spry, man. Let's go.
Bob's ready to go?
Yeah. Let's do some push-ups. Dynamite. Do some push-ups. Yeah. All right, RFK. Bob coming here stripped down to the waist and set of Levi's 501s.
I was thinking more along the lines, just a little cup of coffee, some caffeine or something. But
yeah,
if you want to get physical up in here, Olivia Newton-John, you can do that. Who do you think can do the most push-ups?
I was sitting here thinking, do I really want to? Bob's never really seen this side of you. So.
Can you do a push-up, Bear?
I can do a push-up. I'm not doing as many push-ups as one of you guys. It's more, who do you think can do the most push-ups between you two?
I haven't done push-ups in a long time. Like, that's just
I outplanked Trey Wallace, but that's kind of like saying, yeah.
You outplanked him?
Yeah, that was at the old studio.
How long was that?
I think I held, it was like 60 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
You do 60-second plank?
Then, yeah.
It's impressive.
That was before. That was BC.
I would venture to guess certainly most men our age, between like 45, 60-ish, like probably can't do a 60-second plank. Bob, you're being very quiet over there.
What? Just let me.
I'm working. You call it, I'll do it. Whatever.
60-second plank.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get yourself in deep here, buddy.
That's impressive. I could do it. I would be straining. I would be really straining.
The only thing that carried me through 60 seconds was just that I refused to lose to Trey Wallace.
I've been doing dead hangs.
Oh, for your back?
But just for grip strength.
Oh.
Because that's a big – they're finding more and more. That's a big correlation between longevity, but like one of the biggest things, grip strength.
I've got incredible grip strength.
Really?
Yeah.
How long can you hang?
I don't know about hanging, but I can take you to your knees if we shake hands. I've got like that.
It's hard, man. Like if you've never just like grabbed a bar, like a pull-up bar and just hang there, like I'm.
So I like doing the other thing.
I'm right around 60 seconds, but it's a struggle, man.
What do they call it? The inversion table? You guys ever done that? It's where you put these like things snap around your lower legs, but they hook onto like a bar.
Oh yeah.
And you flip upside down.
That's not difficult though. I mean, that's just
feels
like,
incredible.
Yeah, that's relaxing. That's decompressing your spine.
Yeah. I do that more than the dead hangs.
What about you, Bob? What is your focal point right now in your fitness journey? I know you're in the gym. I know you're hooping a lot. Like what's?
Well, no, I do mostly cycling, like spinning classes. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Did one this morning.
A Peloton?
A spin class?
Yeah. Yeah. I do them like about 2 to 3 times a week.
Really?
You like the only dude in there?
No.
Oh.
No, there's a few. It's mostly women, but
Yeah.
Why do you just assume that's
yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that. Troy
Lady
Aikman does. That's what
Like
he's
when-
been doing forever.
yeah? When I think of spinning, I think of guys.
Must be your gym then. Anytime I was at the gym and saw it, it was like, especially in the morning.
When was the last time you were in a gym? The
2000
Nixon
and-
administration.
Shush with that.
Yeah.
Spinning is a very recent trend. Like there's the Peloton.
2010s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of. I had friends that did the Peloton thing during COVID, in particular.
What's is that like? Obviously, a leg core workout. A long
Yeah,
cardio.
I do ones that are part of the Grit family. So that's
Crit family.
I have no idea what that
that's,
means.
That's like HIIT. That's high impact
Oh yeah.
training.
Okay.
So I do it, like the one today I did was like 45 minutes. There's other ones that are 30, which are much more intense, but I like those because they get done quicker. And you also keep burning calories afterwards. Your body does. It's just conditioned at that point. But they tell you that you shouldn't do that more than like 3 times a week tops, because then it becomes a law of diminishing returns. So,
okay. Yeah.
but to your plank question, now that we're talking about it, that's one of the end of class things is like 60 seconds regular plank, 30 seconds plank on each side. So that's kind of
I tell you, that's what I've been doing. They call it the McGill 3, and it's this guy who was I don't know, he was some kind of doctor or whatever, but he figured out like the 3 best core exercises are a plank, the side plank, and then it's I think we've talked about this on the air before, but it's like some sort of mountain climbing thing where you're like on your knees, but like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's the McGill 3. I've been doing that religiously for a while.
yeah.
Good results right there.
It sounds like that Machine Barnes puts the basketball players on.
Have you seen this racket that I keep seeing it like popping up on my algorithm? And that is there's no way the Tai Chi walking. Have you seen this?
That's another target for the 2-seaters.
Well, it's that your YouTube algorithm, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's that video that you're just like, come on, skip back, click.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like they're showing these guys
The
going, I
AI.
just did this for 6 weeks and now I'm cut like, like Terrell Owens in his prime. It's like, give me a break.
Well, see, most of my ads are for like Darden themed, Darden-owned restaurants like Red Lobster,
At-
Olive Garden.
At the end of the day,
Say.
all this stuff we're talking about is fine. Get active, start moving, get fit. We need to do it. But if you're really, if that's your goal is to get ripped and all that stuff, it's about what you put in your mouth, man.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that.
That is 80% at least of the battle right there.
As I drink my soda.
Non-diet?
No, it actually is.
Is
Oh,
it?
zero.
okay.
You still do that thing where you go just completely caveman and eat the broccoli at lunch?
Yeah. I had raw broccoli today. A couple eggs, raw broccoli, raw peppers, red pepper, red, yellow, orange. You come over, man. We'll get you fit, Bear. I mean, like just this. I am what I am. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't have to be like that, man. You can turn back the clock. You can get fit.
Yeah, knowing my luck, though, if I ever got like fit like Bob's fit, I'm not talking about getting your level, Bob. You're elite.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Specimen.
Nah, no,
But
no.
knowing my luck, that's when I'd step off a curb and get hit by a K-Trans bus after all that work.
But here's the thing: the more fit you are, the more likely you are to survive that sort of thing.
Do you really want to survive getting hit by a bus at speed?
That's a good point. But I mean, cancer. I mean, you beat it twice.
Yeah.
The better shape you're in. Cancer's thinking, Bears, third time the charm. I can get him.
Shut up, Russ.
I can get him this time.
Jesus God.
I mean,
almighty.
be prepared. Be prepared.
I was in actually pretty good shape when I got it the first. That's what they said. I didn't look like I was, but
No comment.
whoa.
Coastoval said Bear's idea of spinning is the lightheadedness he feels standing up off the toilet too fast.
Again, you
All
guys do realize you don't have to read every single thing.
That was
about
good.
the mouth breathers
It's about the interaction.
and miscreants on our YouTube
Hey, don't talk
chat.
about our audience like that.
Hit the like button, please.
Yes.
I'm not going to have a crash out like our buddy Tony did earlier.
What happened there?
He crashed out on the YouTube people. He started chastising them for not hitting the like button. I don't know. It
Hit
was
the
unreal.
like button, like and subscribe. YouTubers.
Helps us out, man.
We love you, even the ones that take gratuitous shots at us for physical appearance, which, of course,
Seems
not
like it's
show
just
fodder.
me.
All right, let's go to the fan run. Sort of, kind of breaking news, though not really, Desk. Tennessee has parted ways with pitching coach Josh Reynolds. Josh Elander making the move earlier today, and this is a move that a lot of y'all wanted to see made. Do we think that Josh Elander did the right thing today, making a change with his pitching coach?
Yes, to me it is, because he had to he made this hire under pressure. He didn't have a lot of time to make a decision. He's got a lot more candidates to choose from this time. And bottom line is, I mean, what was his title? He was a pitching performance coordinator.
Yes.
Our pitching performance was not good, Bob.
No, it wasn't. Look, this is I don't love anybody losing their jobs. I mean, that stinks. But at the same time, this is
It's a cutthroat of business.
yeah,
now,
this is
man.
testing your mettle if you're Josh Elander on having to make the hard but probably right decision, and he did it. I all offseason signals I'm seeing right now, I think are positive right now for Tennessee baseball.
Just feel you got a job like his, Russ. You could be friendly, but
Well, I was defending
the friend thing.
I was defending him throughout the season, and my point was, hey, like you look at the numbers, we're top 10 in ERA, top 10 in WHIP, all those things. It's the hitting, but as the season went along, like those things kind of reversed, and we ended up with a 4.72 team ERA. It was the highest Tennessee has had since 2013. So even Tony Vitello's quote unquote rebuilding years prior to 2021, we were never that high. Now, it was a weird season in terms of like our starting pitching staff and the top two guys, maybe three if you want to include Bo Rudy, out of the bullpen were pretty good. But everybody else we tried skewed those ERA numbers, but still that was kind of that was just an eye-popping number, worst ERA in 13 years, and then allowed 87 home runs over the season. That was a lot. Hit 62 batters this year, the most since 2012.
I mean, it actually, I can think back. There were several games, especially when we were, in the doldrums there, when we just could not win. It'd just be a plunk fest. Games we were in, and then just all of a sudden,
And we would melt down quickly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who was it that hit? I mean, he hit 3 straight batters.
That was that Alabama game, the Thursday night game that I was at, and then the LSU game 3, which I was also at, was like
Plunk
games that you're in late, and then just complete, like it caved in. Like we not only couldn't throw strikes, like we're hitting dudes, and the strikes we did throw were getting crushed. So it'd be interesting to see what he does. I don't know a ton of the only pitching coach I even know out there, and we've talked about this before. Sitting right up the road there over in Seymour, Dave Serrano, pitching coach on our 1995 College World Series team, former college coach here, friend of the show, Bill Minott, has already ripped me on Twitter for suggesting that we bring Dave Serrano home. I would just say, look, we're not hiring to be the manager. Like, obviously that did not go well. Frank Anderson famously failed as a head coach at Oklahoma State. He was a fantastic pitching coach here under Tony Vitello. And I just wonder if you're Josh Elander, are you looking for an older, veteran, experienced hand to come in and help you with this pitching staff. So I'm sure there are other. This is Tennessee baseball now, man. We're one of the premier programs in the country. I'm sure that there will be a lot of interest. And
I like that idea, though, man. I mean, he left on good terms. He stayed in the area.
Mm-hmm. And has continued to be successful.
And he's an elite developer of pitching talent.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Also got a lefty coming in from Northwestern State on a visit we will tell you about. How do you do a visit when you don't have a pitching coach?
Talk to the head man.
I guess so. I mean, you got to get that right.
That guy's got quite a name, by the way.
What is it?
I'll take a shot at it.
Trosclair?
Brody Trosclair.
Northwestern State, I'm guessing
Brody
he's a
T.
Louisiana kid. Also today, we've got Christmas in June. The gift giving going on right now, not only here in Knoxville, but around the college athletics world. We'll tell you about that, what it means for athletics here in East Tennessee. When we continue, our old pal Blake Topmeyer, USA Today, going to stop by. Nick Saban making headlines still. He has been out of the game for 2 years, and he's still a focal point, testifying before Congress. Had a chuckle at Blake's article at USA Today. If you haven't read that, do yourself a favor. Take a look at that during the break, and we will talk to him about it when we continue. It's The Drive on Fan Run Radio. 865-966-3435 is your phone number to get on board. Stay with us. We're back with more right after this.
The Drive.
Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed
Jeff alongside Bob Baskerville and Bear, cruising with you on a Thursday afternoon edition of The Drive right here on Fan Run Radio. Pleased to be joined by Blake Topmeyer of USA Today. Good afternoon, Blake. How are you, sir?
Doing great. You guys?
Hey, we're doing very well. Now, were you on hand to cover the festivities in Washington yesterday as Nick Saban made his appearance before Congress?
Thankfully, no. I was spared from witnessing that in person, and like many of the rest of us in the States, watched from afar. Yeah, very, very thankful I did not venture up to D.C. for that dog and pony show.
Well, we enjoyed your piece on it. We talked about it yesterday on the show, and I think the overriding theme, and you see if you agree, but is just as far as the hypocrisy meter is concerned, Nick Saban, it's one of those things where what he's saying, he could be right. I think he was largely, but maybe not the exact right messenger for what he was saying there.
Yeah, the hypocrisy meter has been shattered. However high it went before, the gauge no longer holds it anymore. Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban is sort of become the spokesperson of the grievance crowd. I liked everything the way it was before when I was hoarding all the talent and winning all the championships. He's a great spokesperson for that crowd, but I don't know that he, really represents what's going on in college football right now. I mean, when the rules changed, he quit, which more power to him. He earned the right to retire whenever he wanted, and he went out as, from where I sit, the greatest of all time. But look, I mean, as we know, he rose to power during an era when coaches flexed omnipotence, and when that changed, he didn't want to put up with it anymore. When the players were able to move about freely and the players got more leverage because they could be compensated and leverage one school against another, he doesn't like that system. And again, that's his right. He can retire, and he's got plenty of money, and he can go parade up to Washington now. But it's like, now he's just become, as I said, sort of the spokesperson for the grievance crowd.
Howdy, Blake. I appreciate you joining us. Staying on that topic, I was saying this yesterday, watching some of the video of Saban holding court, so to speak, in that hearing. And there's been a lot of talk, obviously, for at least a year now, maybe longer, about this guy should be the czar of collegiate sports. I mean, he did kind of look the part. I mean, bluster notwithstanding. But I also feel like maybe there's some level of fatigue because we're also seeing the guy in commercials. We see him on game day. And I mean, the guy knows football. There's no question about that. And there's been talk when Trump has talked about maybe putting him in some sort of role like this where he has not said, I'm not necessarily interested. I mean, do you think there is a future for this guy doing something along those lines?
Is there a future for it? Probably not, because I don't think a college football commissioner is anywhere imminent. And I'm of the mind that I think Nick Saban would be a terrible commissioner of college football. He speaks for one very narrow sect of the sport. Again, he speaks for aggrieved coaches. Nick Saban is not a good spokesperson for college athletes. Nick Saban is not a good spokesperson necessarily for the TV networks. He's not a good spokesperson for the donors who, let's be honest, have a stake in this operation right now, have a vested interest in the operation right now. He speaks for a small sliver of the enterprise. And I do think that he represents the views of the aggravated $13 million coaches very well. He's an expert at that. But does he speak for, the variety of parties involved here? No. I mean, what this bill would do is place limitations on the athletes, among many other things that are packed into this 111-page bill. It would enforce a cap on the athletes and a spending cap on the athletes. And a lot of people would say, well, what's wrong with a cap? There's a cap in the NFL and the NHL and the NBA. Yes, but those are not government mandated salary caps. The government doesn't really have anything to do with those salary caps. Those salary caps are collectively bargained. And so if College Sports Incorporated wants a salary cap, then by all means, you can pursue one. You can pursue one through collective bargaining. But what Nick Saban was politicking for on Capitol Hill yesterday was for the government to be involved in capping the earnings of particular individuals. I don't want the government capping what I make, what you guys make, and I don't think Nick Saban would like it very much if the government was involved in capping what he made during his career. And interestingly, there's nothing in this bill about capping the earnings of coaches or athletic directors or conference commissioners or coaches agents or anything of the like. The only people who are being held to a cap and who are having their movements restricted in this bill would be the athletes, and also the athletes' agent representation would be affected by this bill. So again, Nick Saban is a great spokesperson for one very small sliver of the industry, and that is the aggrieved coaches.
Blake Topmeyer, USA Today, with us this afternoon here on Fan Run Radio. So, Blake, what's next in this legislative process? I mean, you've already had the Big Ten and SEC come out and say that, we cannot support this bill as it's written. Of course, there's a process. We all watched the How a Bill Becomes a Law video, Schoolhouse Rocks, back growing up. I'm assuming that they'll try and get it changed to make it more palatable to the leagues. How does this move forward?
Yeah, in theory that they would. At the onset of this process, Ted Cruz was taking sort of I wouldn't call it a victory lap, but he was flexing some muscle, we'll say, on the interview circuit last week, talking about how confident he was that he was going to have the vote to get this passed. Well, a week into this process, I guess the tea leaves that I'm seeing don't maybe back up all that confidence we got from Ted Cruz last week. I mean, a senator and Senator Cruz's own party, the Republican senator, one of the Republican senators from Ohio, has come out and said that he's not going to vote for this bill. And if you can't keep the Republicans on board, I'm not sure how you're supposed to get to 60, because he needs some Democratic. He needs 7 votes from Democrats as well. Now, it does have it was co-written, obviously, by a Democrat, Maria Cantwell, and it also has another co-sponsor from the Democrat side of the aisle. So if you can keep all the Republicans on board, that's 53. You need to get to 60. You need 7 Democrats, but then you still have to get through the House. And there's already been opposition in the House, not just from the Democrats, but also from the Republicans. And so, point being, long way to go for this bill to become a law. I think you're right. If some concessions could be made to get the Big Ten and the SEC on board, you might increase the chances of this bill moving across the finish line. But are both senators who co-wrote this bill going to agree to that? I mean, Senator Cantwell, the Democrat on this bill, seems very interested in bringing the Big Ten and the SEC to heel. That seems to be one of her top interests in this bill, and she wants the language in there about pooling media rights to stay in there. She wants the language in there about trying to prevent a SEC Big Ten Super League to stay in there. So, I think there are ways to get the SEC and Big Ten on board with the bill, but do you keep Senator Cantwell on board with the bill at that point? If you lose her, then it's no longer a bipartisan bill and you have nothing. So, bottom line, I think there are still a lot of hoops to jump through for this thing to have a chance to get passed. And of course, there's always a possibility that this bill could get tacked on to something else, right? I mean, right now it's existing as a bill pertaining to college sports, 111 pages. Well, sometimes in the political process, these types of bills get kind of tacked on to the back end of other bills that have nothing to do with this bill. So we'll see where it goes. And all of this is up against the election clock as well. I mean, this is an election year. As November approaches, I think interest in this will wane as everybody who is up for re-election focuses instead on trying to keep their jobs and on the re-election process. So, you got a couple months here maybe to get this across the finish line, and I still think a long way to go.
Kind of spanning that out, you and John Adams did some work that I was a big fan of because we talked specifically about the SEC, and at the league meetings, Greg Sankey did Greg Sankey things. Basically, I've always felt it's a little smug and almost condescending in tone sometimes. And look, I don't think the SEC is in trouble by any stretch, but there's definitely been a sea change the last few years with what the Big Ten's doing in revenue generation, championships, you name it. And he, of course, downplayed it and said, not only what the SEC's better, but by far better, right? Am I characterizing that properly?
That's right. Yeah, I asked Mr. Sankey at the SEC spring meetings last week why or how the Big Ten has been able to move past the SEC in college football, and what, if anything, Sankey in his role in commissioner can do to reverse that tide. And I thought that was a pretty basic, pretty fair question. And before I'd even finished asking it, Greg Sankey interrupted me and asked me the metrics behind my question that the Big Ten had passed the SEC in college football. And I pointed out the metrics are pretty simple and I thought were pretty obvious. The Big Ten's won 3 straight national championships. Not only that, but the Big Ten is 4-0 against SEC teams in head-to-head playoff matchups the last 3 years. I mean, those seem to be the 2 most important data points, right? Who's winning the national titles and who's winning when the teams meet in the playoff. And, the SEC hasn't beaten a Big Ten team in the playoff in 4 years now. Sankey cited he's got some mysterious metrics that he's seen behind closed doors. Convenient how that works. That tells him that the SEC not only is the best league, as he said the SEC is the best league by far. And so, I don't know, I guess he's unconcerned by the fact that the Big Ten's gobbling up the titles now and is winning by 35 points in the Rose Bowl. But he's got the metrics that says he's still got the best league. But as I wrote a week ago, I mean, like you guys, I've been in a lot of these facilities, these football facilities, and when you walk in, usually they prominently have displayed the trophies that the teams have won over the years, national championship trophies or other big prestigious triumphs. I've yet to see a metric trophy in one of those trophy cases. Maybe we'll start seeing those in the South now that they're still the metric champions, even though the Big Ten's winning the national champions. I haven't seen one of those yet. But why would Sankey do this? I think a couple things. One, option A is he's just in blissful denial that the Big Ten has surpassed its conference in football. That's a possibility. Option B is the best thing that the SEC has going for it right now is its propaganda. It's always been very effective at convincing people of the greatness of its league. Now, back when the SEC was winning all the national championships, that was a very easy argument to make. Only a fool would argue that the SEC wasn't the greatest league when it won 13 out of 17 national championships. It was quite obvious it was the best league in the sport. Now that it's not winning as much on the field, I think Sankey has really leaned into that propaganda, and he's trying to convince people that, hey, he's seen some mysterious metrics here that still tell him that he's got by far the best league, and maybe someone will listen to him. In particular, maybe those somebodies on the college football playoff committee will listen to him. I mean, propaganda is very important and very useful when you have a playoff system where 7 of the bids are decided by at-large structure. And in the 2 years of the college football playoff, no conference has gotten more bids than the SEC. And in fact, even though the Big Ten is winning these playoff games and they're winning national championships, I do think the SEC is still better in the talking arts, the rhetoric arts, and they're better in these propaganda situations of kind of getting some of their teams the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe we ought to introduce debate as a SEC sport. We have debate teams.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I like that. The SEC could still be winning that one, even though the Big Ten would have the reigning champion in football and the reigning champion in men's basketball. But I do think there's a chance the SEC could be national debate champions. I agree with you there.
Hey, Blake, we can't let you out of here without at least one actual football question. I see where Virginia Tech gets a $75 million athletics gift. All this talk about the conferences and, who would make it to a super league and all this stuff, who would get left behind. Virginia Tech, one of those, borderline schools, right? And James Franklin, the new head coach there, they get an infusion of cash. What are your thoughts on the future in Blacksburg for James Franklin and the Hokies?
Well, I think for starting the money aside and conference realignment aside, I think Virginia Tech did pretty well for themselves in the hiring circuit. I mean, James Franklin sort of became a little bit of a punching bag at Penn State. I get it. His personality sort of rubs the average fan the wrong way. Franklin would be the first to list off 10 things he doesn't have and not tell you about everything he does have and all the support he did have. So I get it. He probably wore out his welcome there at Penn State, and I think Penn State fans are probably very happy to have Matt Campbell. But, sometimes when you get a coach who has at some point in his career been successful, but he gets fired and you get him off the scrap heap, you're kind of getting him in the twilight of his career, and I don't know how motivated he is at that point, and he's just kind of in it for one final hurrah, one final paycheck, one final buyout. And you have to wonder about any of these guys that are coming off the scrap heap. But I don't know. All of Franklin's actions the last few months, and we got to remember this guy's only 54 years old. He's still got some runway left in him, I think, and he seems highly motivated to prove to Penn State that they made a mistake in firing him. And let's not forget that for whatever his shortcomings there, he couldn't beat Ohio State. He struggled in those big game moments, and his team was a flop last year. But this was a guy that was rattling off 10, 11 wins with regularity, and it was just a couple years ago he was in the playoff semifinals. And so I think for Virginia Tech, it was a pretty strong hire. I think this falls under the two things can be true camp. Like, I understand why Penn State felt like it needed to move on from James Franklin, and I think that was reasonable. I don't think James Franklin thinks it was reasonable, but I think it was. But James Franklin falling into Virginia Tech's lap, I think is a big win for them. If the conferences, if we get another round of conference realignment in the 2030s, where would Virginia Tech end? I don't know. I mean, culturally, I think it aligns very neatly with the SEC, but the SEC has liked to expand into bordering states within its footprint that it doesn't have a school located in. It expanded into Missouri, expanded into Oklahoma, Texas, into these bordering states, right, that still fit the cultural tapestry. I think Virginia Tech, it would be a bordering state that fits the tapestry, fits the culture, all of that. Would they go for Virginia Tech instead of Virginia? If you're just looking at football brands, I think you'd rather have Virginia Tech, right? Even though they've been down recently, you go back to the Beamer days. I think there's a little bit more oomph there with Virginia Tech football, but I'm not so sure that the SEC wouldn't be more enticed by Virginia if it wanted to get into that state. I wouldn't, I think there's a possibility that the SEC would be more intrigued by the University of Virginia than Virginia Tech, but maybe that changes if James Franklin can restore Virginia Tech to some level of glory and greatness.
I have one last one out the door. Brendan Sorsby, in a perfect world, there's no way he can be playing college football again. Would you agree?
Oh, my stars. I can't believe, yes, I wholeheartedly agree. And you probably saw I wrote about this week. The fact that we're even having a conversation about this, I'm not arguing with these guys. I'm more arguing about the nebulous people out there that think he should be allowed to play. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, for as much as people try to pretend like there are no rules in college sports, there are actually some rules, right? There are some that are still on the books. And one of the black and white rules that are on the books are, if you're a college athlete or a coach or someone, with direct hands in the enterprise, you do not get to bet on college sports. You do not get to bet on NCAA sanctioned sports. And you certainly don't get to bet on the sport that you play. And you certainly don't get to bet on games involving your team. Brendan Scoresby admits he played thousands of bets across many years. And that doesn't mean I don't have some level of sympathy for him. And I don't doubt the truthfulness of him saying that he became a gambling addict. I think his activity would suggest that that's probably true. And I wish him well if he goes on to the NFL. I wish him well in his recovery. I'm not being callous about this. Like, this doesn't have to be a life ender for this guy. This doesn't have to be a career ender for this guy. But if a judge allows him to play based on the fact that he was a gambling addict, I mean, that's basically his defense, is that he could be allowed to play because A, he was a gambling addict, and B, his legal team says that his gambling was a result of him having an anxiety disorder. So that is a defense that allows him to play. I mean, really, if a judge says that's okay, what that is a signal to college athletes everywhere that it's okay to bet on sports. It's okay to bet on your sport. It's okay to be betting on your team so long as you can prove to a judge that I didn't just bet a few times. I'm a full-fledged gambling addict, so I should be allowed to play. I mean, that is the most backward argument. In a world of backward courtroom arguments, that one is about as backward as it gets. So again, I don't mean to be callous to Brendan Scoresby. I want him to recover from this, as everybody should. If he's got this addiction that he says he has, I wish him very well in the NFL. I hope he has a long, prosperous career. But I'm sorry, the rule on betting on college football when you're a college football player is black and white. You can't do it. You certainly can't do it when it involves games involving your team. And to me, your defense being that it should be okay because I was a gambling addict. Come on, guys. That one doesn't pass the smell test.
Blake, another interesting offseason for college football, and the countdown officially on to kickoff for 2026. Always appreciate the time. He's Blake Topmeyer. You can read his work at usatoday.com. Follow him at btopmeyer on X. Appreciate it once again, Blake. We'll do it again soon.
Okay, sounds good. Good talking to you guys.
Thank you, Blake.
Sir. Blake Topmeyer joining us here on Fan Run Radio. Some interesting perspective there on a variety of topics. And we talk about the big gift headed Virginia Tech's way to help James Franklin restart that dormant program. Tennessee getting an even bigger gift. Now, it's not all going to athletics, but we'll talk about it as I guess it would be a 9-figure gift headed.
That's correct.
Tennessee's way. Yeah, a lot of money headed to the university. We'll talk about it next right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
Check out exclusive Fan Run video content on YouTube.
Bob and I wait until 4:30 or 5 to get a little energy. But I told you I was dragging a little bit today, found myself a bit peckish. So I went ahead and ate my breakfast bars here, and all of a sudden I hear Bob mutter, "Got a free piece of cheese today at Weigel's."
It was free.
Yeah,
that what you had?
it was a giveaway for the rewards members over there. So it's a nice 2-ounce cheese stick.
Big piece of cheese, man.
It's good.
What flavor?
I got some pepper jack.
Spicy cheese in the middle of the show.
Wow.
What you sipping on over there?
After he tears it open, he goes, "I'm a big cheese guy." I mean, this coming from the man who yesterday admitted to going for the taquitos on the rollers at Raceway.
Yeah, that was first and last that I did.
I'm starting to learn that one
the hard way.
A year ago, yeah.
Bob, you got the eating habits of a 12-year-old. I mean, you and Russ's son could chow down together.
There's
Slim Jims.
Back in my early morning days with Reed, I did the cheese every day. Because I didn't get to eat breakfast or anything.
Cheese for breakfast?
Yeah, man, it's a little bit of relatively good fat as long as you do it in moderation. It's okay.
I just don't like the way you eat cheese and try and talk. It's
nah.
Yeah, I very rarely eat cheese by itself.
I mean, you end up sounding like Papa on the 30 pizzas in 30 days.
Yeah.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
Who's that?
That's Papa John.
Oh.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
Wow.
You can tell. I can hear it in your voice, man.
Undoctored Papa John in his first interview after being forced out of his own company.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
I mean, even Cody McClure is somewhere saying, "Man, that's way too much."
Great. He likes Papa John's.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
Now that's a lot of cheese, Bob.
That's definitely a lot. I mean, I don't love cheese that
like
much.
how do you? Yeah, how are you
right
even
there.
functioning at that point?
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
We talked about Elvis being backed up when they found him.
Oh God, here we go.
I mean, he doesn't sound healthy in that clip there.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
That's the guy who sounds like he probably needs a good angioplasty.
Speaking of cheese, Chad Dallas making his big league debut tonight. The former Vol. This is kind of interesting. So the Blue Jays are using an opener tonight. By the way, Braves going for the sweep in the ATL. Mason Flaherty will be the opener, and then Chad Dallas will make his big league debut as the
middle relief?
Long reliever.
Yeah, he'll probably still. I mean, as long as he doesn't get bombed, he'll probably put in 5 innings or something like that.
Just kind of how they just ease him in.
There's more and more of that opener stuff happening in pro baseball.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, but
You don't like
You've
it?
seen it in
I don't
college.
like it. I don't
Worked for us in 2024 to thrilling effect.
Tony had, who were those two guys? Tony had the one kid, because the kid was from Malibu.
It was Stamos Takazi.
Yeah, and Stamos, that was the kid.
Sounded like a Japanese star. Stamos Takazi.
Takazi.
Yeah, that worked out well for us.
It sure did.
In Major League Baseball, the team you talked about yesterday, Tampa Bay, they've been doing it for years and it works.
I thought that's something we could have looked at this year is, hey man, can you get one of these guys like a Krenzel or a Frederick or somebody who struggles, even a Bo Rudy, who struggles to pitch more than one inning? Can you get through the first and I think they were going to try it a couple of times and the guys just couldn't get through the first inning. So
They start throwing at people's heads.
yeah. Just joining us, big news from the Tennessee baseball world today. Josh Elander fires Josh Reynolds. One less Josh coaching over at the University of Tennessee. Lord knows we've got a lot of them. And we'll see who is the next pitching coach for the Big Orange. Danny White's perm on the chat says, any truth to the rumor that Kurt Schilling will be Elander's choice for new pitching coach? That's a big name. He'd be fun to get on there.
Boston Bloody Sox.
Yeah. You think he'd wear the bloody sock wouldn't go good with the orange, would it?
I don't know. Isn't he kind of a firebrand?
He's something.
Yeah, he's a nut.
I'd rather just go out to Seymour. Just because that would also have some symmetry to it with Serrano.
No, Danny Whitesboro. I don't think Kurt Schilling is on Josh Elander's short list. That just seems like a disaster waiting to happen, in my humble opinion.
Complete disaster.
Did Ryan Shumpert, as I saw his piece or his post on X a couple hours ago, and it's kind of what we've talked about. I think this really does resonate when you think about it this way. He said, one thing that Josh Elander impressed me with this year was his ability to pull the trigger when he felt a change needed to be made. For example, stopped coaching third base midseason.
Yeah.
Moved Tegan Kuhns out of the rotation briefly to force him to better manage the run game, and now moving on from Josh Reynolds. Has not pussyfooted around tough decisions. Certainly things not to like about his first season at head coach, but still making decisions with conviction, which is a good sign to me. I think so too. I mean, I really now you got to go get that guy though and I love the concept of Serrano that you're throwing out there. I do think it's got to be and Serrano could fit the bill. It's somebody that's got to have some SEC exposure.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. Somebody who's been in this league, preferably somebody who's been to Omaha, somebody who knows the college game, relates to kids well, and like Frank, maybe a little fire. If Josh is going to be the good cop,
he's got to be a bad cop.
Yeah, maybe somebody who come in there and really give the ump what for. I
miss Frank
when calls aren't going our way. Hell, maybe he comes back. Maybe he's not having fun out there in San Francisco.
That'd be pretty rough if he bailed on Tony after 1 year out there, came back to Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Nah, Tony's his boy. See him going to his ranch in Texas. So
they're on the verge of winning their second in a row today.
Hey, that's what we call a win streak. It has happened before.
Yep.
All right, top four at 4 coming up here in just a second. We'll open lines in hour number 2. We got SEC Mike joining the show in hour number 3, so still a lot to get to. 865-966-3435 is your phone number if you want to get on the show here this afternoon. 966-3435. Back with the day's sports news coming up next right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. Fan Run Radio, the flagship station for Tennessee fans.
This ain't no wishy-washy, limp-wristed, kale-eating, half-ass sports radio station.
We're your in-your-face, truth-telling, say it loud, flag-waving, face-painting, hardcore, bring the noise, causing a ruckus, don't give a damn sports station.
Sports talk that doesn't just hang up and listen.
For the fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Get some.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah. They specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
It's time for the Drive's Top 4 at 4.
Hour number 2 of the Drive underway. It's Fan Run Radio, and time for the Top 4 at 4. It's brought to you this afternoon by our friends over at Knoxville Smiles. Number 1, Tennessee baseball announcing a coaching staff change following the 2026 season. Vols officially parting ways today with assistant coach Josh Reynolds, who oversaw Tennessee's pitching staff. Quote, I want to thank Josh Reynolds for his hard work and dedication to the Tennessee baseball program during his 2 seasons in Knoxville, but I have decided it's best for our program to move in a different direction from a pitching standpoint at this time. End quote. First-year Tennessee head coach Josh Elander.
Most consequential decision he's made so far this year?
Yeah, I feel like without a doubt.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, what else is it? I mean,
I can't think of anything else that's got this much.
You never forget your first firing.
Yeah.
But you, Bob, you remember the first guy you ever canned or gal?
Yeah, I do.
Want to talk about it?
Well, he had a gun.
Really? It was that guy.
It was that guy.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Boy, that'll.
Did you know he had a gun?
Kind of thought maybe he would. He didn't have it on his person. He had it in his company vehicle that we had to go have him clear out.
He just pulled his gun out?
No, he
not
was,
like pulled it out.
No, it fell out onto the ground.
He took it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's always a vibe changer when the gun falls out.
Well, we had to walk him out to his car, and I stayed back. I was like, I'm going to stay here because he made the comment walking out, like, man, I even brought a gun today. I was so upset.
Yeah, that's like, not a good thing to say.
I'll stay here. And then when he was walking out, he was like, come on, man, we knew each other too, which was weird.
That's like, tough.
He was like, I'm talking about, it's getting dark. He was like, I was talking about doing something to myself, not you, man. And I was like,
you've told me this story before.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather have the blow up, screw you, man, and
yeah.
Slam the door than the pull on the heartstrings. I thought we were buds. Just like,
yeah,
hey, man, you got to make it a clean break.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes it can be the best thing, though. I mean, for the person on the receiving
Yeah.
end of it, too. I believe that. So I've had some stories of people who've gone and didn't work out with us, but then figured it out and did well in their next thing. And, you know, all's well that ends well.
I got canned in the summer of 2010. Didn't really know what I was going to do. 2 months later, the Drive was born. And now here we are, cruising right along.
That's right.
When is the Drive's birthday?
September 2010. Number 2, Dee and Jimmy Haslam gave $130 million to the University of Tennessee. It's the largest school donation in history. A couple are, of course, UT alumni. Over the course of their lives, they've donated a total of more than $195 million to the university. Now, this money is mostly earmarked for the College of Business and other academic institutions, but I mean, that's a lot of money. $130 million.
I feel like this one, if they're saying it's for the academic side, then, I mean, if they want to give money to athletics, that's cool. But if they're earmarking it for academics, it needs to stay over there on the academic side.
Well, I would imagine that's condition of
call me crazy
of the gift.
Kind of weird cutout for.
Well, I think it's interesting because that relationship was strained.
Absolutely it was
because Jimmy was front and center on Schiano Sunday.
It's his guy,
and there was a lot of blowback against him at the time. And I don't, Bob, you might know more than me, but I feel like Jimmy and their family kind of pulled back a little bit.
They did
at that point, and maybe not necessarily cutting off the spigot financially, but they just weren't as front and center, weren't as public. It felt like they devoted more of their time to their Cleveland interests and the Browns and the Bucks and the soccer team that they own there. And the father, Jimmy, Big Jim, is still around in his mid-90s now, and Bill Haslam has certainly been very visible here in Tennessee. But I think it's people wonder about with Big Jim getting so old, will the Haslam family still be, for lack of a better word, bankrolling the UT operation going forward? And this is probably a sign that yes, Jimmy and Bill will be there when you need them.
I think so. And I don't think there was, if there was any animosity, hard feelings, whatever you want to call it, they've kept it pretty close to the vest. As you guys know, I was a business partner with Dee on some stuff a few years back. And one thing I can tell you is this is an encouraging sign to me because they have been singularly focused on their pro sports interests. There has been no question about that. So, and it does give some direction, like you said, Russ, because Big Jim is, is getting older, and we know that's inevitable. And I think they're going to still have a hand in being big benefactors for the university. I believe,
and probably big power brokers as well. When you give that kind of money, you get a say.
Yeah,
when things change.
Although I think it's telling when we say that none of this money was earmarked for athletics.
Yes, well,
so that may be
that too.
Yeah.
Number 3, UT, not the only school getting a big cash infusion today. Virginia Tech has received a historic $75 million donation, with the majority directed toward athletics, the school announced today. So they're getting half of what we're getting.
Franklin's
but it's going to sports.
Franklin's going to win there, man.
Think so?
Yes, I do.
Hey, please, I mean, that conference is not exactly super strong right now.
The record donation is made anonymously by a 4-generation Virginia Tech family. I'd imagine that would be pretty easy to figure out if you're in that community, which of course we're not. Set to go toward multiple initiatives, including the fundraising portion of the recently approved $229 million investment in athletics over the next 4 years. So that's
smart
interesting.
up there.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to pour that into facilities, or is that just player procurement?
I don't know. I mean, their stadium looks
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great.
If
you see
I'm
it on TV,
if I'm with these athletics directors, man, I'm. If you haven't pivoted yet, and all this money that you're getting and focusing it towards getting and retaining good players, then you're screwing up.
I just feel like they got a lot going for. I mean, they had whoever had the foresight to turn a Metallica song into their war chant to the point where, the band play shows. I don't know. They seem to have a lot of positive stuff going.
You would take a portion of this money and just make Metallica the official Lane Stadium house band? That's what you're saying?
No, I would be probably not me, because I wouldn't be good at it, but somebody from Virginia Tech would be asking them if they wanted to invest in the Virginia Tech program themselves.
You think Metallica, so we're talking changing the Metallica Stadium.
I'm not asking for money from
Metallica Field at Lane Stadium.
No, you call them up like you would anybody else for hey, guess what? James Franklin, hey, mind giving me $1 million to help me get this wide receiver out of Biloxi?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure those guys are just sitting around watching Virginia Tech Hokies football.
You know how
on the tour bus.
Like if you're a season ticket holder here at Tennessee, we get phone calls sometimes from a recorded message, and it's like a former player or something. And
recorded message from.
Oh yeah. No, I was going to say Virginia Tech. It could be, you pick up and it's like, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that. He starts it on give me fuel, give me money. Yeah.
No, I mean that's kind of silly, but I have seen pictures of them wearing. I mean, I'm sure they've got.
I don't want to see that, man. It has been tough to watch Metallica grow old and sell out occasionally. I saw them out. I saw them performing with Lady Gaga.
It's a world-class vocalist.
Yeah. Okay.
At least it wasn't Miley Cyrus. Am I right?
Well, Lady Gaga's.
Number 4 Major League Baseball games going on today. You got the Phillies beat the Padres earlier, 6-4 in Philadelphia. Bears Yankees get the win at home against the Guardians today, 2-1. Top of the 9th, Orioles finishing off the Red Sox, 8-1 there at Fenway. You've got the Giants leading the Brewers in Milwaukee in the bottom of the 6th, 6-3. That is your top 4 at 4, brought to you by Knoxville Smiles. It's where I go to the dentist. Have for many years now. They take great care of me, my teeth, my family, their teeth. They'll take great care of you as well. You can make your appointment online at KnoxvilleSmiles.com or just call them up the old-fashioned way at 865-539-1776. Say, hey, I heard Russ talking about you guys over on Fan Run. Would like to schedule an appointment. And they will say, okay. And then it'll happen. KnoxvilleSmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles. I'm Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville Bear. Hour number 2 of the drive. We'll go open lines here at this hour. 865-966-3435 is your number if you want to get on the show. 966-3435 if you want to chime in. NBA Finals last night. Had that on in the background. Just kind of watched. Felt like the Spurs were more or less in control until the very end of the third quarter, and then just kind of collapsed, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like I think they got tired, honestly. It was weird. There's definitely a common denominator when Wemby is not on his game, and he was not last night. Then
the French flagpole.
I'll tell you what, though, and I put something on X about it. Dylan Harper is an absolute grown man at 21. That kid is... He's an elite guard already. Plays like he's been in the league like 5 or 6 years. He was their best player last night for the Spurs, but it wasn't enough. Knicks just
Brunson, man, prop Joe.
Yep,
he's cold, man, stone cold killer.
Yep,
like his ability. And what is he 6'2"?
Maybe.
His ability to get in the lane, and it doesn't even look that athletic. I know he is to be. He's kind of got the James Harden thing going on, but his ability to just get in the lane and create his shot and make it.
Yeah,
like it's to the point where, anytime he gets to the paint, he's scoring.
He's getting
going
2
in
here.
Yeah,
especially he gets straight. You got 7'5" guy. And just the way I agree with you, Russ. It's really good. It was a fun game to watch.
I just hope it goes 7 games. I think it's I think it was even though the Knicks won, it was entertaining to watch last night for sure. And for a minute, the Spurs then took the lead, right? They took the lead with like 2.5 minutes to go, and then they didn't score again.
If the Knicks hold on and do win this thing, how insane-o is New York going to go?
Oh, God. It'll be unreal.
Will the fans be super obnoxious?
You could hear it last night in San Antonio, man. It sounded almost like a neutral site game. I mean, it was crazy. They traveled well.
Yeah, there were a lot of Knicks fans there.
They want to win.
Speaking of New York City, look what just popped up on my Facebook 10 years ago thing. They give that.
You in New York?
Wow.
Do you know who that is?
Isn't that the Game of Thrones dude?
Yeah.
Forget his
Oh, that's
name.
right. You met George.
George R.R. Martin. 10 years ago today. The V-neck T-shirt by yours truly was certainly a choice.
Oh, that's most of the T-shirts I wear.
Really?
V-neck. Yeah.
V-necks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the gold chain.
as long as
I've
they're
really
not-
settled into the crew, man. I'm a big crew guy.
As long as they're not like the big, some of them plunge a lot. That's too much. I don't do that. But yeah.
This was at the Carnegie Deli.
Nice.
Which is now defunct, I believe.
It's gone.
Yep. Good pastrami and rye. Speaking of Game of Thrones, that might be, well, I'll go ahead and give you a little teaser. That is on my list. Top 5 shows of the 2010s we'll do after the top 5 at 5. Is that enough notice for you, Bear?
I forgot all about it, honestly, myself.
Yeah, I mean, this one's going to be the easiest one for me.
It was. I mean,
I can probably do it off the top of my
the
head.
2010s, kind of a golden age of television, man. Like when we really settled into the quote unquote prestige TV era. A lot of good shows. I think it might be harder than you think.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be harder. I don't like that you limited us to 5. I feel like we should have gotten 10.
That's what I did last.
I'm sure you.
This segment would take forever, man. I mean, we got to keep it moving. It's drive time radio, buddy. Come on. Give you 10 shows.
Well, it worked for me because you guys had rattled off a bunch of shows already that were on my list. So then I just added some of the others that I had. So it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, well, being prepared is a good thing. Wise man once said, perfect preparation prevents piss poor performance. Yeah.
I made a mistake at the end of hour 1. I'm going to go ahead and own it. Unlike Bob and Walker, I'll take responsibility.
Oh, man. What happened? What have you done?
Before the crazy podcast people come and tell you.
Did you mess up the pod?
A little bit of the last segment of hour 1.
You couldn't, if it's just the one segment, you probably could have not said anything and gotten away with it.
Yeah, until you busted me.
What when you say you messed it up,
what'd you do?
I forgot to hit record.
Wow. That's really the only thing to do when you're recording a podcast. Is just
I didn't forget to push. It's a little
the red button, man.
It involved the button, but we've got to do.
We know how you feel about red buttons. I feel like that would be a pretty easy thing for you to do.
So, like, normally I push P because I'm always pushing P, Coach Barnes.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I ended up on. I thought I wasn't on the right screen. So when I pushed P to take it off pause, so we could keep pushing P, it never started recording. And then I noticed it. But I just wanted to get it out there now, get in front of it.
Mm-hmm. Call attention to your error.
Well,
it's not, I mean, that's not my style to call attention to others' mistakes. Not how I roll on this show.
No, not at all.
Well, because I'm looking at the clock. You know, the podcast people, they start listening to the show, Bob, at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up.
Time shifters.
Yeah.
What did we do in that segment? We talked about Bob's cheese.
Yeah, it was nothing really material in the discussion.
The reason I'm pissed at myself because it was fun.
Probably the best segment of the show so far.
I mean, if it had been an interview with
Damn it, Bear.
Sorry.
Sorry. Like an interview with Coach Barnes or something, that could have been
You can still get it on the YouTube archive.
Sorry. True.
So
865-966-3435. Open lines this hour. You want to chime in, 966-3435. Coming up, the case for Johnny Majors in the College Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's not in. We'll talk about it when we continue. It's Fan Run Radio. Stay with us.
The Drive.
For the fans, by the fans, this
FM 1340 AM, streaming online this afternoon at fanrunradio.com and on the free Fan Run app. We are also on YouTube on the Fan Run Sports channel. If you're watching over there, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button, give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that now. It's free. It's easy. It helps us grow the brand. The Drive since 2010. Been doing it 15 years, almost 16 now, every afternoon from 3 until 6. Shout out Big Dog West Tennessee on the YouTube chat. Says he started listening to the show back in 2010. 15-year listener. How about that?
It's impressive.
Kiffin's Wrecked Lexus says Franklin's going to make the playoffs in year 2, whether it be 12, 16, or 24 teams. It's a bold prediction.
I think he's right. I'm telling you, man. I think he's I don't like the guy, but he's a good coach. I do believe that. And I think Penn State gave up on him a little too soon.
Well, I thought a couple things there. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how Matt Campbell does now that he's finally left Iowa State after how many teams tried to hire him over the years. And he just kind of sit there. Hey, I'm nice guy Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Isn't it cute when we upset everybody, when we upset a big fish, every now and then? And now he's at a place where there are big time expectations.
Yeah.
And how is he going to handle that? Similar to what James Franklin had to adjust to when he left Vandy. But the most impressive thing to me about Franklin's start at Virginia Tech was, he convinced Brent Pry, who was the head coach there before and failed, to stay on as his defensive coordinator. Now that's got to be an interesting dynamic. First of all, you've got to be very secure in your status as James Franklin if you're going to keep the guy who was running your program around in the hall. And Brent Pry's got to, that's got to be difficult to check all that ego, right? It's like, hey, man, I was the guy in the big chair for the past couple of years, and now I'm a lieutenant. So I'll be really interested to see how that works. I think it was a good move because Brent Pry's a very good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Interesting column written today by Brent Hubbs over at VolQuest talking about Johnny Majors and his case for the College Football Hall of Fame. Now, Johnny's already in as a player, obviously. He was one of the all-time greats in the 1950s, but he is not in as a head coach. A year ago, the College Football Hall of Fame adjusted the criteria for coaches to qualify to go into the Hall. And they did it for Mike Leach, basically. This is the Mike Leach rule. You have to win 60% of your games as a head coach to be eligible to be on the ballot to be voted into the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach. Leach, famously, he was like right at 59%, I think. He was like 59.4%. Right? I mean, he was right there. And people say, well, here's this big personality, did a lot for the game, changed the way the game is played with the air raid offense and all that stuff. And he coached at schools that were off the beaten path, Texas Tech, Washington State, Mississippi State. So he was never at a power school. So that shouldn't be held against him when you're talking about winning percentage. And it'll be interesting to see what Mike Leach is on the ballot this year. Does he get in? That's up to the voters, whoever votes for that. Brent Hubbs making Johnny Majors' case. I think he has a very compelling one. He was very similar to Mike Leach. He was right at 60%. And kind of like Mike Leach, he was at some programs where he had to rebuild, right? First of all, he was at Iowa State. Then he comes to Pittsburgh, rebuilds that program, wins a national championship. Then he comes home to Tennessee in 1977, I believe. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Right after they won the championship at Pitt in 76.
Yep.
And a prolonged rebuild. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like, they obviously won the SEC title in 85 with the Sugar Vols, but that took a while to get off the ground. This is before the transfer portal. You just had to recruit. He did it, turned Tennessee around, won 3 SEC championships here, couldn't quite get over the hump and win a natty. But by the time he was forced out here, his winning percentage was well over 60%.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes back to Pitt, which had fallen on hard times in the 1990s. And by that time, Johnny was
Screwed his numbers up.
Well, he was late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Like he was older, had heart problems and everything.
He
and
had open heart surgery.
yeah, it just couldn't get it going at Pitt again, and had some bad records. And so his winning percentage dipped just below 60, like Mike Leach. And so that is paraphrasing. I'm going to read Brent's article here for you, but that is the case for Johnny Majors. What do you guys think? Obviously, we're pretty biased here. Should Johnny Majors be in the Hall of Fame as a head coach?
Oh, 100%. In fact, he is the only Johnny football I recognize. He's the original. Absolutely, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You know, and you talk about being a character and all that other stuff. You know what I will remember most about Johnny Majors? And I noticed this before I ever moved to Tennessee and, became a Vols fan and all that. He might be one of the best dressed coaches of all time.
Oh.
I mean, that dude, he rocked.
I mean, he was a damn clothes horse.
Yeah, I mean,
and was up until the day that he
had the
lost him.
jacket and everything on the. He
Damn
looked
trench
sharp on the
coat.
sideline. But my favorite Johnny Majors pictures are the ones when he first got here from the late 70s, where he's like the really tight white polo shirt with the big orange collar and the orange breeches.
Oh, I never saw
It's
that.
all bike athletic.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
He's
Oh
wearing
man,
the coaching shoes.
I'll find some of that. There's also a picture of him and Bear Bryant, and like Bear is wearing like these plaid golf pants and like a crimson rain jacket, rain slicker or something,
Yeah.
and one of those big trucker hats. And Johnny's wearing something just completely ridiculous. I mean, like it is
70s were a
polyester
wild time.
overdose. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
My wife found, I told you we're cleaning out the house and getting rid of all this stuff. She has, I'll get her to send a picture, the shirt of her dad's from like the 1970s. They lived in Hawaii for a year or two in like the late 70s, early 80s. And for some reason, she kept this shirt that is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It might be the ugliest, most awesome male shirt I've ever seen. Now, unfortunately, it's a small.
So it won't fit you?
It not even close. Yes. White shoes, bright orange pants, a white belt.
Yeah.
The white polo shirt tucked into the pants to better display the belt, or big orange collar and orange placket.
Even then, that's a good look.
That's
right
a
there.
great look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iconic, some would say. But anyway, yeah, this shirt, Bear, I've got to show it to you. I mean, it's unbelievable. We tried. My son it kind of fits him, but he's like, no, I'm not wearing that. I'm like, dude,
You have no idea.
you
And hearing watching him grow, I mean, like 2 months, it's not going to.
you only have one chance to rock a shirt like that, and
It's probably
you're gonna be
this
too
summer.
big. Here in a little bit, I'll say this: like, obviously, I want to see all the good things happen to Tennessee icon and legend Johnny Majors, right?
Right.
I'm kind of a stickler for the rules, man. The Hall of Fame is that's the picture. Oh, it's Johnny wearing the plaid pants.
With Bear, yeah.
Johnny Majors in a pair of plaid pants with an orange polo tucked in. It's the same white belt.
Yeah, white belt.
And then Bear is wearing just like a full-on crimson rain suit.
And Bear Bryant has that hat on. Those hats that takes me back too. Those hats were badass back then. They're the kind of trucker
He's
hats
kind of
with
big
mesh.
boy and Johnny. He's giving him the LBJ, like hand on the shoulder, kind of leaning in your face, like getting up in your business, like just kind of dominating him body language wise.
Yeah, and then Johnny got carried over to him about 6 months before they put him in the ground. Hated Bear Bryant. Cheating. Him and Adolph Rupp invented cheating in college athletics.
Roll down Tide.
Yeah. I'm not going to lead the charge on this because really, who even knows where the College Football Hall of Fame is?
Used to be in South Bend.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
it's moved though. I think. Is it
in Atlanta now?
I think it's in Atlanta now.
But man, like you have these rules in place for a reason, right?
Yes.
This isn't Nam. I'm going to lower them for Mike Leach. I'm going to lower them for Johnny Majors.
Well, if you're going to lower them for Leach, then you got to put King Johnny in there.
Well, I think you got to be consistent here. You either lower them for both or you don't lower them at all.
I'll tell you, and this is White Oak Vol 79 on the live chat said this. This was the game where I was watching this out. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. He said he loved Majors because he was the first. Maybe it was because he was the first coach I remember, but that win in South Bend should get him into the Hall of Fame on its own. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm on board with Tennessee football. I had no idea I was going to be moving here a couple of years later, all that stuff. But watching that game, when I was on the West Coast.
that one, the Sugar Bowl when Miami, basically it was a de facto national championship game for the Hurricanes and Jimmy Johnson.
So I just sent you guys the picture of this shirt.
Oh my God.
Now
that
zoom
thing
in.
is beautiful.
Now zoom in. It's like brown gray and it's shiny. It's got dragons on it.
It's got dragons and mushrooms and stuff.
I just noticed the mushrooms. Dragons, mushrooms. There's like a crow there.
Your kid looks miserable.
Yeah, I was going to say, your boy looks
so thrilled.
Looks so happy to be wearing that.
Oh, man. This is the
there's
worst
the
shirt.
keyboard.
What keyboard?
The
one. Yeah, you want it?
How
See, I
much?
told you. It's Yamaha. $100. Let's get Phil in here. Phil, you're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, baby.
Hey, Philly.
How you, Barry and Bob, doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, I'm sitting here right now at the drunk tank looking at the picture of Bear Bryant and King Johnny.
We drank
right now.
I mean, those were the days, right, Phil? There were no talk about we had NIL. We just didn't publicize it. No transfers. None of this. Hey, I'm making an announcement that I'm coming back. I'm coming back to school. Not that I'm leaving. I'm coming back for my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Simpler
The good
times.
old days, wasn't it?
Simpler times.
I remember that last time we beat Bear Bryant in '82. We finally broke the streak against, I think, 14 straight years losing to Alabama.
We killed him. We put Bear Bryant in the dirt, Phil. Beat him so badly he died like 5 months later. Is that terrible, Bob? Is that too soon?
It's a little
That's true, yeah. That sure is, isn't it?
Roll down Tide.
But King Johnny ought to be in the Hall of Fame if Leach is in the Hall of Fame. I mean, King Johnny had he rebuilt 3 programs in his career. And like you were saying earlier, I mean, all 3 of the programs were almost bottom of the barrel when he took them over.
I mean, winning a national championship at Pitt, I know it's a different landscape back in 1976, Phil, but, my mind, and I'm sure the mind of younger listeners, I mean, that just boggles the mind to think that you could win a natty at Pitt.
Well, it does until you look at some of those things like Pitt's they're way up there on the list of colleges that have put the most players in the NFL over the years. And
I remember Tony Dorsett, one of the greatest running backs I ever seen.
They've arguably got one of the greatest running backs and one of the greatest wide receivers. That's where Fitzgerald went. He's a Panther.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, it's a good school. I mean, but I was watching some highlights of Dale Carter last night on my phone. I don't know, somebody put a tweet up there about him, and I can't remember. I still can't remember all the great plays that he had when he was here at Tennessee.
I'm sorry, Dale Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his coming out party was a Florida game. I think that's when it really sunk in, I felt like.
I mean, one of the best athletes to ever suit up here. Those big shoulder pads, Phil.
That's probably the 3 best in the secondary, when you think. Terry McDaniel at the corner, I mean.
I don't know. I mean, we'll probably do that this summer, all-time Tennessee secondary. McDaniel.
Well, like Dale Carter could play anywhere.
Yeah.
He's one of the rare guys that correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, but he was a safety here and then transitioned to corner in the NFL, right?
Nickel.
Yeah.
I mean, you never see guys make that move anymore.
No, really, Baker's got Tennessee back on course, and of course, former reaped the benefits of it and got us a national championship, and then the program went on harder times. So
we're working like heck.
You're condensing it, but I mean, he kept going. What
that's
Major
true,
said.
though, isn't it?
No, not really.
Well, more ran it in the ground. That's the reason why we're in the situation we're in now.
Are we really doing this? I mean, we're relitigating
I
like
knew
20 years ago.
As soon as I saw the Johnny Majors news, I knew that this
20 years. It's been 20 years, Phil. Time to put it to rest.
We're working like heck.
Well, you keep saying they're working like heck about 5 or 6 times on my phone call. Keep reminding me, well, you're not.
We're working like heck.
Bob, in these ball players, you think who's going to be the most pleasant surprise in the basketball team this year? Mine's going to be this Lou guy. I think he's going to be kind of like a Meshack.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I know firsthand, Rick loves Braden Lou, loves him. I think that's an interesting one. For me, I keep thinking back to that interview we did with Lundblade a couple weeks ago. I mean, I think this guy's going to be a guy we're going to be sad when he leaves, because I think he's going to be a leader. I think he's going to be a sniper that's going to win a couple games for us. We'll have a lot of good memories about Lundblade. So, I mean, that's not necessarily a hot take. I mean, he's coming in as somebody we're expecting a lot from, but I really am excited to see about him. But Braden Lou's a good one, man.
Well, if he's as good a career shooter as Chris Lofton, then it ought to translate in several wins then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Early June, and Phil is already hitting us with his basketball pick to click. You got to love it.
Well, after too much of hearing about Elander and the baseball balls, it's time to talk about something else. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Has basketball, or has the baseball thing run its course, Phil? Is it time to transition?
Well, it's time to transition to the next baseball season. Hopefully this guy get a good pitching coach. That's remains to be seen. I mean, how much financially are they going to put money into a pitching coach?
It's a fair question. I was going to ask Phil, though, do you feel like I came away feeling a little better about Josh making a hard decision pretty quickly on the pitching coach? It needed to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now he's going to have to get some studs in there. I mean, Vitello was a compulsive recruiter. I mean, he would go all over the country. I never seen a head coach recruit like that in baseball.
No, he was dogged about it, certainly, Phil, and he just had that personality, man. He's very charming, and whether it's with the ladies or the kids he was recruiting, or just dudes like us who wanted to see our team win, man, he had everybody eating out of the palm of his hand. He's special in that regard. Now, I think Josh Elander is very dogged in recruiting as well. He saw how Tony did it. You talk to people inside the program, they will tell you, look, Josh is much more organized than Tony. Tony was a little rock and roll. It's a little, hey, what are we doing now and everything. But he made it work for him.
Yeah.
Can Josh Elander close? When he gets in front of a prospect and the family and the agent, can he get them to trust him with the prospect and get him here? That's what we're about to find out the next couple of weeks.
I think going to play a little Braves for me since they played the Blue Jays tonight and that former Tennessee pitcher. Don't he go against the Braves tonight?
I think we're going for the sweep tonight, Philly.
Well, I tell you what, I love it. It's good to win them something, See.
This unholy alliance that sprung up between you and Phil when it comes to stupid song.
I'm sorry, what's that?
He just requested it.
Oh, everybody down there where they're tipping beers this afternoon, they think that they request that Russ play the chop, Bob, like at least once a day year round.
Is he talking to me or you?
He's talking to me.
Can't hear him.
I've got nothing to say to you.
What?
You heard me.
Is he done? Chop so loud. Man. Best team in baseball. About Mauricio Dubon. The season Bryce Elder's having, man.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. 865-966-3435. How are the Dodgers doing these days?
Oh, they're fine. Shohei, just another ho-hum 6 innings pitch, gave up 3 hits, no runs.
2 of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
What?
True pitchers.
Speak up a little bit,
They
man.
aren't just guys
People
that
can't
try
hear
and
you,
throw
man. You
hard,
gotta
you know what I
talk a
mean,
little
Bob?
louder.
Yeah.
The drive continues. Back with more Fan Run Radio right after this.
The Drive. Miss any of your favorite Fan Run show? Listen to the
that picture, alert listener who sent that to me, Rocky Pops on Twitter sent me, of Johnny Majors in what I believe the term we called those in the coaching shorts in the 1970s and 80s were nut huggers, I believe.
Bike Athletic Company, 100% polyester. Probably 2 snaps, I would imagine.
It couldn't have been comfortable.
It's the guys that like have you guys seen Dazed and Confused? The movie where the coaches come out and that get up.
Well,
you signed your pledge.
I mean, imagine now that I have to ask you guys this because I don't remember wearing shorts like that. But
we had
when
polyester shorts,
when they switched to gym shorts, like the gym shorts that we all know and love now, I mean, are gym shorts on the list, Bear?
No,
I don't think I've ever seen you in a pair of gym shorts. Like what? Can you even imagine like playing basketball or something in a pair of these?
No, I do remember. That does take me back. I had coaches in high school though that
wore those all the time.
Baseball and football for sure. Not so much basketball, but yeah, they would wear.
I mean, that's how the NBA uniforms were. Is that polyester? It was the same material basically. Just
the ones I'm thinking the coaching shorts I remember, Bob,
pockets on the front,
but were really rough.
Yeah, no,
like we're not comfortable. But the NBA, they didn't wear those in the NBA. Like the 60s and 70s NBA, I don't know if they were gym shorts like we have now, but they were lighter, right?
Well, at one point they were kind of silky. That was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
Then they
see like early Kareem and
yeah. And then
it was probably comfortable. Probably didn't breathe very well, though.
No, I don't think so. And then they started going kind of a poly mesh thing. But
what about?
I definitely remember the socks he's got. You can get those like at Athletic House here in town.
Yeah.
I had numerous pairs
tube
of those.
socks.
No, they're not quite. They weren't over. I mean, they're below the calf.
But just
orange
think
stripes.
of how the like clothing technology is always getting better and how uncomfortable those clothes look and everything. And what happens 50 years from now? Will we be looking back at the stuff we're wearing today and be like, oh my God, first of all, that was ugly as hell. But second of all, like it was uncomfortable. It was inefficient. It was just not good.
You don't even have to go that far back. You can go back and watch like college basketball or even NBA highlights from like, I don't know, 20 years ago. And the level of bagginess in the shorts and everything, that was horrible. Now that I look
Fab
back.
Five, the mid 90s to whatever, 10 years ago,
Jordan started it.
The shorts they got out of control there for a while.
I get the notion they kind of went too far in one direction. They were probably more comfortable, but they finally got to a point where it was like, man, they're like, culottes or whatever they would call them, like around your knees.
Those early
Capris.
Pearl teams, Chris Lofton and Dane Bradshaw, I mean, well past the knees and huge, just huge baggy.
Yeah.
You know why Jordan started doing it? Because he always wore his North Carolina, I don't know if they're practice shorts or what, underneath his game uniform. But the NBA you couldn't have him hanging out. So he started getting his shorts cut longer.
Yeah. I'm just reading on the live chat.
Oh, great.
Invoice from Danny says, imagine the horror in Bob's eyes if Coach Heupel came out in a pair of Johnny Majors shorts.
I think that'd have throwback weekend in college football where all the coaches do that. Who would look the worst in them?
I was going to say Belichick, but then he actually might look right at home.
Oh, he's worn them.
Yeah.
We could probably find pictures.
Heupel might be it. Heupel might look the worst.
Yeah.
In those.
Kirby's not looking.
No. I don't think that look would be doing anybody any favors.
You know who'd pull it off? Dabo would. He'd look all right.
He would. Yep.
I mean, he's probably worn them in the past too.
Let's get W. Lynn in here next. Lynn, you're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio.
How my French compatriots doing today?
Well, talk about Johnny Majors. I guess
Throwback
W.
coach
Lynn's
in
ears were
shorts.
burning. Yeah, he had to chime in here.
Well, what y'all are talking about is coaching shorts. That's what we always called them. I think I'm the oldest person here on the phone. And I had tons of them in my entire softball career. When I was pitching, I wore coaching shorts with sliding pants under them. That was the thing.
They've got bikeathletic.com's got them for $46 a pair. Bob, you get you some of those, man. You look good. Those yellow ones right there.
What's the inseam? Are they saying how long they are?
looks like a 5-inch.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
Those things, they were short. I mean, but they were a few inches above my knee, and I always got gray usually.
Well, you got to. I don't want to get too graphic here, Lynn, but you got to wear briefs with those puppies. No room for boxers. It would be.
No, I wore boxers. Boxers. It was okay. Yeah, it was. I refused to buy swim trunks for years. I swam in them. Wow. I said, I'm not buying a swimsuit. What do you got to have that for?
Yeah, you got to have
I grew up
built-in.
Had cut off blue jeans and went swimming and stuff like that.
Wow. I remember I did that, the cut off blue jeans one year, just because I thought I was cool. But then I was like, man, the swimming suit is really where it's at. I mean, it really is a good piece of material.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got to get one and start exercising in the pool. That's one of the things I can do now, is do stuff in the pool.
There you go.
But some information about Coach Majors. He started wearing the coat and tie in 1986 on the sideline to honor his dad who had just passed, Shirley Majors.
Okay.
Because that's how his dad dressed. And from then on, he was coat and tie.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And then in 1993, our first trip to Maine with my daughter, who was 2.5, I got in touch with Coach Major's secretary. I was working for Bud and Haywood, sports information and stuff, and lined up a meeting with him. And we drove to Pittsburgh, which, if you look at a map, that's not on the way to Maine.
No.
And we stayed in this Holiday Inn where he was staying in the penthouse while they were getting his house ready, and he was out raising money. And I went on a tour. I went up to the athletic department offices and met the AD and everybody, and they gave me a tour of their place, their locker room, weight room. It looked like rural high school. I'm telling you, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. So he was running around raising money. So I met him at the restaurant. We had a great talk. He gave me a poster, and he was off to another alumni fundraiser to raise money. So he coached 4 years. That time he went back in 93, and they never had a winning record. And I was always talking to his secretary first, because I would go on a trip every year, either to Pitt or wherever they were playing around here. And she told me when he finally resigned that he was running around for 4 years raising so much money because nobody'd been doing it, that he was letting his assistant coaches run the practice. And he wasn't doing like what a normal head coach does. And if you look at they have the Peterson Event Center now where they play basketball, all that athletic facilities they've got, he raised the money for that.
Yeah, he had to. I mean, he was later in life then, but really helped lay the ground for some future success that they've had there at Pitt. WLN, great to hear from you, my friend. We have to run, though. Stay with us. Hour number 3 of The Drive coming up right after this.
of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
It's time for The Drive's Top 5 at 5.
Quitting time on your Thursday, 5 o'clock here on Fan Run Radio. Top 5 at 5 brought to you this afternoon by ECR Total Landscapes. Number one, big baseball news today. Josh Elander making a big move. The volunteer baseball program parting ways with pitching coach Josh Reynolds after just one season with the program. Now, Reynolds had been here, I believe, for 2 years. And like Tony brought him, he was the pitching coach at Cincinnati. Tony hired him away after the championship season, I believe. And he was basically pitching coach in waiting under Frank Anderson. And he was just going to learn the system, help out behind the scenes, and then step up whenever Frank retired, which, move everything up. Frank leaves with Tony. You go ahead and bring in Josh Reynolds in Tennessee pitching worst ERA since 2012 for the Volunteers this year. Gave up a ton of home runs, hit batters, and things like that. So we'll be looking to improve at the pitching coach position.
Excited.
I'd forgotten that he was here before.
What will you guys remember most about Josh Reynolds?
The hoodie.
Not a thing if he
He
walked
looked like a South Park character.
Well, you wouldn't know him if he walked in here because he always had the hoodie up.
Yeah.
I don't know what he looked like. He
I
looked
don't even
like
know what the hoodie's
he's
about.
the Unabomber coach over there in his hoodie and glasses. I don't mean to.
He reminded me of Kenny from South Park.
You killed Kenny.
Number 2, point spreads released today on DraftKings for 5 Tennessee football games this year, and they are the big ones. First of all, have you seen these, Bear?
No.
Tennessee, what do you believe the line to be for the Texas game?
How many points they give us for it being a home game? Usually 3.
I don't know. People
3.
say 3. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'll say 4.
For what?
They'll favor. I think Texas will be favored.
By 4?
Probably.
-7 for the Longhorns.
So we're at 7. They got us as a touchdown favorite. Nice.
No, underdog.
Oh.
You really have no clue how betting line. And this is not an act, folks. It's not a bet. Bear is
just don't bet.
I
don't do sports betting.
Bob, you surprised at all the spread there?
No, I mean, Texas is what? Like a top 5
Yeah.
team preseason. So, no, we're not exactly rock solid. I'm not saying we couldn't win that game. We just need to see how things develop leading into that game. But no, I think that's probably a fair spread, honestly.
Who do you think is favored in the Alabama game this year, Bear?
Should be us.
Alabama is a 1.5 point favorite.
Here?
Yes.
Big game here? Yeah. That's damn outrage right there. Bulletin board material, Russ.
I kind of
Gabriel's buddy.
Do what?
Chris Gabriel's buddy.
Oh, Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
I kind of expect to beat Alabama at home for a
Damn
third
well
time in a
better.
row.
Hope so.
The biggest line we've seen so far related to Tennessee is in the Texas A&M game. They've got the Aggies as a 9.5 point favorite.
What?
That one really
Yeah.
sticks in your craw?
They would bring the cult up here?
No, we have to go there.
It's there.
That's still absolutely ridiculous. Mike Elko and his band of Moonies down there.
I mean, they were in the college football playoff last year, returning quarterback, a lot of talent on there. You just don't like it. Well, I did find that line. I would certainly have A&M favored. I did find 9.5 to be a pretty big spread.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I could see. I think it's at least 7 to 8. I'm not like totally shocked by it, but probably a little generous to the A&M
6.5, 7. Bear, who do you think is favored in the game? This one is here: Tennessee versus Lane Kiffin and LSU.
I have no idea where you.
I'm not asking you who you want to win. Like yes, we all want Tennessee to win. Who do you think Vegas favors?
Probably LSU.
1.5 point line to LSU for this one.
Man, LSU's getting a lot of love, not just against us. I mean, some of these preseason rankings, everything else. It's like,
so Tennessee.
I don't want to see the guy get hurt, but I'd love to see him get clobbered by something.
Tennessee 1.5 point underdogs at home to both LSU and Alabama. And then the final one, Tennessee at Vanderbilt, the last game of the year. Who do you think's favored to win that one, Bear?
Damn well better be us.
Tennessee is a 3-point favorite at Vandy.
What did you say? That Pavia kid ain't walking through that door.
They're really going to start the true freshman, Jared Curtis, this year?
I don't think they have much choice.
Yeah,
man.
I think they might have to.
Is Texas Tech really trying to get the Sorsby kid eligible?
I mean, wouldn't you if you were them?
I don't think I would, man. This guy broke the cardinal rule in sport. He bet on his own team. He's no different than Pete Rose or the kid from the NBA that got banished. Banished. Exile. You must walk out into the wastelands forever.
Who in the hell does he think he is?
You're damn right, Joe.
Number, what is this, 3? I'm debating, do you want Tennessee basketball recruiting information or another look at the Major League Baseball scoreboard?
I want basketball recruiting information.
Same.
Injected into my veins.
You say it like angrily, man. You could just say, I want
the whole
basketball
betting line
recruiting
thing.
information.
The betting line thing and those punks in Vegas have got me pissed off.
Malachi Jordan, one of the top prospects in the 2027 class, has scheduled an official visit to Tennessee. 6'6" small forward out of Dream City Christian in Arizona is set to be in Knoxville the weekend of September 26th when Tennessee football hosts Texas.
I imagine that's a basketball factory with a name like Dream City.
Yeah, these fake schools these kids go.
What was the one Kennedy Chandler played at in like Sunrise or
Sunrise Basketball Academy? I think
it always reminds me of those
there.
fake schools on the first season
Montverde.
of True Detective. But they had all these weird names for those schools in the show.
I still remember Kevin Punter coming here from State Fair Junior College.
That may be the strangest.
The Fighting Corn Dogs.
I liked Keon Johnson came here from the Webb School in Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
Yes.
But it's not the same as...
No, because it's in Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
It's not even the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, it was the first. It was the Webb family.
Oh, really? Is it the same family?
Yeah.
Is it a good school, too?
I guess so. I think that one might even be like a boarding school.
Who is the Webb family?
The hell did they do?
Is that like...
They started these private schools way back when they, had like enrollments of like 6 people.
Because they didn't want their children going to school with the riffraff.
Is that what we're... never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, Malachi Jordan, number 14 overall prospect in the 2027 class, according to Rivals. Also considering Vanderbilt, Kansas, UConn, Texas Tech, Indiana, Miami, BYU, pretty much everybody.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Boy, high school recruiting ain't what it used to be. No. Number 4, game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. In North Carolina, Vegas won game 1, so pretty much a must-win situation for the Hurricanes tonight.
It's hard. I mean, you got Vegas and Carolina. It doesn't exactly scream NHL to me.
Yeah.
Do you have an NHL team, Bear? Like just somebody that you lean to at all?
I used to pull for I always find myself, if I'm watching them, I pull for the Red Wings.
I grew up rooting for the Red Wings.
The Blackhawks.
The
Rangers.
The Predators are kind of.
I was going to say,
I'm a fair weather Predators fan. When they do good, I'll pay attention.
Wow. Same here.
What?
I'm not you still got yours?
I'm not a huge hockey guy, but it's fun.
No, I'm saying I would, if they're in state, I would just, I'd adopt them.
That one year they did really good. Drive was all about the Predators that year.
Yeah.
Went to the Cup Finals. What was that, 5 years ago?
Something like that.
That was fun.
Sounds about right.
Got creamed. Poor Pecorine. Number 5. A South Carolina detective was arrested after he allegedly pointed his department-issued firearm at a fellow officer inside a police station after the officer did what?
Ate his lunch?
No, but it is lunch-related. You're actually close.
Stole his lunch?
Left his lunch tab for the guy. Okay.
After the fellow officer was microwaving fish in the communal microwave.
Oh.
I'm going to speak up for the cop that got arrested here. Because I'm here to tell you, and especially doesn't do it so much here. Back in the old days of the bomb shelter, McClure was known for nuking eggs.
Eggs?
McClure used to nuke in that god awful
I didn't
microwave.
know you could do that. Microwave eggs?
I don't know how he would do it, but it was absolutely.
I'll take it a step further. You stick up for the cop. I think he should have pulled the trigger.
Wow.
You've been in, walked in here. It's your guy Sam Beard who be in there microwaving fish. Stink up the entire building.
It's a place of business, Bob, and your boy was in there just. Committing.
I'm Sam Beard. I gotta eat healthy. I need my omega-3 fatty fish oil.
I've got muscles. Meat Bam Bam.
Meat Bam.
Sam Meathead Sam Beard.
Wow.
46-year-old Michael DiBiase. No relation to Ted, as far as I know. Detective with the Myrtle Beach Police Department. He's arrested June 2nd. I guess that was Tuesday. And charged with pointing and presenting a firearm at a person. Can't do that, even if you're a cop. Pull your firearm on somebody. You do that again, pull a piece on me, I take it away from you and pull the trigger till it goes click.
You're missing a part of it.
By the way, speaking of that, not that
Get up.
the accent you just did kind of reminded me of it. They were showing celebrities at the Knicks Spurs games last night, of course you see Spike Lee, of course you see Ben Stiller, but then you see John Turturro.
Oh yeah,
I was like, "There's Jesus."
The Jesus.
Jesus. Nobody messes with the Jesus.
What was his name in Mr. Deeds? I probably like that character.
That was a great character as well, and he was a basketball coach, wasn't he? And he got game.
Yeah, I think you're
Can I
right.
touch your feet?
He's had a lot of different roles. He was like the Area 54 or Area 57 guy in
Area 51, you mean?
Whatever.
Where we've got the UFOs we're hiding?
Yeah, but the movie was Transformers.
Really?
Yeah, he was good. He was good in that.
He's really good right now in what's the Apple TV show? Severance.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a
He's
great
in
role.
that?
Yeah, him and he and Christopher Walken are in love.
I've got a message from
You're
Sam.
just going to breeze right by that, really. You're not even paying any attention to what I just said, are you?
You said he was in love with Christopher Walken, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Modern progressive Bear.
I mean,
Doesn't find the fact that John Turturro and Christopher Walken are an item in Severance.
Talking about love.
That's
what
pretty
do I
good.
care? It's
That's
not
pretty
me.
good.
I really don't. Doesn't have anything to do with me.
Do some more walking. I was enjoying that.
Yeah, that takes some work to do it right.
I'll tell you, Jay, he's married to Jeannie Buss. Jay Moore.
Yeah, Jay Moore nails him.
He's got him like.
You know who else is good at it is Amy Poehler.
Yeah,
really
does a female version of Christopher Walken, and it's spot on, man. Spot on.
I'll tell you the best out of all. He can do almost anybody's voice, and he's not really known as being a mimic. Is Aries? Is it Spears? He does Tony. He can do Tony Soprano. He sounds dead off like Gandolfini. But that guy can do a lot of people.
ECR Total Landscapes, your one-stop shop for taking care of your yard, whether it's a tree that's got to come down. I had them take some trees out of my yard last year. Or if you need to de-weed your flower beds, get the leaves blown, get the trimming, mulching, edging, all that stuff done, let ECR Total Landscapes come and do it up right. Right now, you get 10% off your first month of the monthly maintenance package when you mention promo code FANRUN. That's right, 10% off the first month of their monthly maintenance package. This thing is blowing up, man. Everybody's doing the monthly maintenance package at ECR Total Landscapes. I mean, you just sit there, they'll come out there first thing in the morning, boom, they cut your grass. They do. They don't skip the spot. They're edging. They get the curb looking all good. Get the edge of your property looking good, right up to the house. Getting those flower beds. Get all the weeds out. That's the worst part, right? Getting all those weeds out. They'll do that for you. They'll come back and blow off the sidewalks, the driveway, all that stuff. Have your yard looking great. Check out ECRTotalLandscapes.com for more information, or just call them at 865-384-2012 and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Coming up, our old pal SEC Mike joins the fray when we continue on many of these Fan Run affiliates. We're back with more right after this.
The Drive.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast.
afternoon edition of the show. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in today. We've got our boy Michael Bratton, SEC Mike on Twitter, that SEC podcast on the line. Good afternoon, Mike. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm just living the dream, man. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing very well. Counting down the days until the event that we all love. And, of course, I'm talking about the World Cup. How excited are you? No, I'm just kidding, Mike. We got SEC football coming up less than 100 days away. And so all these crazy off-the-field topics, man. I mean, it's the sport that never sleeps. I mean, you got Nick Saban up there in front of Congress yesterday, Mike. I'm watching that stuff going, man, what am I seeing right now? What is happening?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I never really got too interested in all this, to be honest with you, with, the Congress and lobbying and trying to change this and trying to change that. I try to stay focused on the field because it seems like that's where the fans are at too. And hey, I don't even follow politics that much, but I know enough that if you're going to Congress for assistance, you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your money. So wake me up when something becomes finalized, because they've been saying this for about 5 years and nothing ever seems to come of it.
No, I'm the same way, Mike. We've been talking about these changes in college sports in Washington, trying to help out for 5 years? I bet you anything we're going to be having these same conversations 5 years from now. But all I know is when you get college football coaches, is particularly SEC coaches, you get them in a room with a bunch of politicians, it's hard to tell who's more corrupt and who's telling the bigger lie.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm just surprised. I guess I shouldn't be doing this long enough, but just like how often the fans just start parroting what the coaches have to say. I mean, the coaches, thank God for Mike Elko. I don't know if you saw what he said at the spring meetings, but he basically said, why are you asking us about the playoff? Why are you asking us how many teams it should be? We're just in it for ourselves. We'll say 40 teams if you give it to us. Like, quit asking us, because they don't have the power to do anything anyway. And to hear now, I hear nothing but fans complain about the 9-game SEC schedule, and we haven't even played one of them. I mean, they're just parroting the nonsense from the coaches when the 8-game schedule is a disaster. When you got 16 teams in the league, if they really didn't want to go to 9 games, they should not have expanded to 16. I think this is going to be one heck of a season.
Well, it's like college football traditionally has been so slow to change. I think we're roughly the same age, Mike. You might be a little younger than me, but like I just remember growing up and, man, are we ever going to have a playoff? Is college football ever going to have a playoff? And it took forever, right, to finally get to where you have a postseason where it's decided on the field and not amongst a bunch of voters or computers or something like that. And no sooner did we get the playoff than, like, you got to change it. The change is happening so fast now. I mean, we've only done the 12-team playoff twice, and these guys can't wait to expand it. Now, I think some level of expansion is probably warranted here, but I also get the people saying, wait a minute, we've only been doing 12 for 2 years. Like, maybe we should, ride this out a little bit and see what it's like before we start going and just doubling the size of the college football playoff.
Right. And not only, I agree with everything you just said, but I'll be honest, I thought expanding to 12 was going to be a mistake, and I thought it would devalue the regular season, and thankfully it hasn't. But they don't even have the 12-game right, because they don't, in my opinion, they don't do enough home games. And it should just be the 12 best teams. Forget, getting Tulane and James Madison in there. I mean, that's a joke. But if they would just put the top 12 in there, I think it would be perfect. And I don't care that 13 and 14 may be solid teams that think they can win it. They all have their opportunity to make their case in the regular season, and we're debating multiple lost teams. Like, I don't have room for that. Once you've lost a couple in college football, your fate's out of your hands after that point.
Hey, Mike, appreciate you joining us today. Let's talk a little bit about some of the teams in conference, because actually SEC meetings last week, I felt like I was expecting maybe a little more, little more drama going on, with quotables from, one coach against the other, less of that, but still may happen at media days. There are a lot of subplots, right? With all these new coaches coming in. Obviously, Lane Kiffin leads the way, but beyond that, which one has your interest the most as we head into the next season? From running the gamut from Golish to Will Stein at Kentucky to Summerall at Florida, or even Pete Golding really getting his first full season as the head coach at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think number one for me is probably John Summerall, because I think he's an excellent coach, and I think he's inherited quite a bit of talent at Florida. Now, they were god awful last year, so take with that what you will. But I think that was largely due to Billy Napier being. I think he was actually a really good coach Sunday through Friday. He just couldn't coach on Saturday, which a little bit of a problem in the Southeastern Conference. But I am slightly concerned that John Summerall is. I just don't know if he's a perfect fit for what Florida wants. I mean, are they going to celebrate even if they're winning 9 games a year? A tough, hard-nosed defensive coach. I don't think that's him. They need an exciting brand of football. So I'm very curious to see how that works out at Florida. I really like Pete Golding. I call him Cheat Golding because he's a cheater, but
nice.
That's perfect for Ole Miss. I mean, you need someone that's going to live life in the gray. And that's Cheat Golding to me. So you got all these other coaches, even retired coaches, Nick Saban out here firing shots at Ole Miss. That's right where I want to live if I'm a Rebel. Everybody hates us. They went further than anybody in the Southeastern Conference. You had all these coaches seem to be pretty upset about it. I think they're just upset because Ole Miss is historically middle of the pack at best in the Southeastern Conference. And now that they're kind of rising up the ranks, it's kind of like, you kind of want them to go back to the middle of the pack, but I don't know. I think Ole Miss might be here to stay.
Talking with SEC Mike this afternoon here on Fan Run Radio. And Mike, the first-year coach, I'm interested to see how he makes the transition is our guy Alex Golish down there at Auburn. He is with Josh Heupel, obviously had a lot of success at South Florida. And for all the chatter out there, maybe it's just because we're kind of isolated here in East Tennessee, but it really feels like he's flying under the radar. Brings his quarterback with him, Bynum, I believe, from South Florida there. And I don't know, he just seems to have an intensity about him, a work ethic about him. I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't at least get them back to respectability and knocking on the door of a 12-team playoff. Certainly would expect him to be a part of a 24-team playoff eventually.
Yeah, and I really like Golish, but, going back to Summerall, I know there was flirtations there, and they nearly landed John Summerall, but I feel like Summerall at Auburn would have been perfect, and Golish at Florida would have been perfect. Yet we've got the opposite, of course, but I'm slightly concerned. Anytime you hire a coach and you essentially tell them, all right, you got to keep a defensive coordinator that you have no working history with, that's a huge red flag to me. And from what I'm hearing behind the scenes, it's a little chaotic.
Really?
Him not really understanding, what is life in the SEC, and the boosters paid so much money the last 2 years and got literally nothing to show for it on the field. They're not opening the checkbooks until they see more, and that puts him in a bind right out the gate. So I don't know. Auburn's got it pretty rough too. Auburn and Florida play week 3 at Auburn. That's going to be a huge game, I think, for both of those programs to really. I think the winner's going to have a really good year. I think the loser's probably going to have a disappointing year.
Wait a minute. You're sitting here telling me with a straight face that Auburn is chaotic and dysfunctional behind the scenes? That's not the Auburn I know. I refuse to believe it.
Isn't
it? SEC Mike with us this afternoon here on Fan Run Radio.
Hey, Mike, still kind of fanning out and talking about these coaches besides our own with Josh Heupel. What do you think the kind of the heat meter is on Shane Beamer at this point at South Carolina? Because, I felt like last year there was a chance that we might be seeing him being shown the door. He's back. You just never know what you're going to get with Shane Beamer, but what do you think has to happen for him to continue on at South Carolina this season?
I mean, I think bare minimum they need to show competency on offense, because Shane Beamer has essentially struck out every time when he's hired an offensive coordinator, and I think he finally got it right with Kendall Briles. He's been in this league before. The last time Arkansas was good, Kendall Briles was their offensive coordinator, but you got to get something out of Lenore Sellers, because I think when people talk about the best quarterbacks in this conference, he gets just so far down the list. He's like an afterthought these days, where this time last year he was mentioned as quite possibly the best quarterback in the conference. So he has taken a huge drop, but I don't even know if it's his fault. I don't know if you guys are aware, but no quarterback, not just in the SEC, but in the country, has been hit more than Lenore Sellers the last 2 years. They can't protect him. And I don't care who you are. You can be Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. If you can't get protection, I don't know how to evaluate you as a quarterback. So we've got to be confident on the offensive side of the football, and you got to finish. I see why people have Beamer on the quite possibly the hottest seat in the SEC. I think that's fair. But they nearly knocked off A&M last year. They should have beat Alabama last year. Now, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I don't think he's in over his head at South Carolina. They just could not finish a game to save their life. And we also fired basically everybody that was on the hot seat. So we got to put somebody on it. And it's Beamer, and I think it's Jeff Levy. And then the other one to keep an eye on, I think, is Sarkisian at Texas. If they don't make the playoffs both years with Arch Manning, I think he's got to go.
Wow. Big expectations for Sark down in Austin. SEC Mike taking a few with us here this afternoon, Fan Run Radio. Mike, is Vanderbilt really going to trot out the true freshman Jared Curtis at quarterback starting game one?
I don't know about game one, but I think eventually they're going to have to play him. They really like they have a guy, Blaze Berlowitz, who was the backup to Pavia last year.
Okay.
And I think he's competent, but he's just, he's got a big time ceiling. He's not going to lead them to many Southeastern Conference wins, but is Jared Curtis going to be that guy immediately? What they're paying him, he ought to be honest with you. But I just don't know if you can roll out a true freshman and take a big step backwards. How familiar is he going to be with this Ken Beck system? I think that's a huge question mark. And they do have 2 cupcakes to open the season, so maybe you could roll them out. But week 3, they play NC State, and man, that's almost like a must-win. With this new 9-game conference schedule, you can't really have any non-conference losses if you're Vanderbilt. If you want to go back to a bowl game, and I like what I've seen from Jared Curtis. What limited, I was there for the spring game. He looks pretty good to me, but I don't know if you can count on him in game one.
Was looking at now. I will qualify this and say this is about 6 weeks old, but you had put out your SEC power rankings for football teams post spring practice and all of that. And at that point in time, you had Tennessee number 6, which I thought was hey, I'd be happy with that, to be honest with you. Has that, given what's going on with the back and forth right now on what we think is going to be happening at the quarterback position, as well as what we're hearing about Chaz Coleman, which feels like total chaos right now in terms of what's going to happen with that kid. Do you still stand by kind of that positioning for Tennessee football in the conference race?
Yeah, and I'm happy to be on an island. It seems like most people are out on Tennessee, at least nationally or around the conference. I think, Josh Heupel could get fired this year. I think that's crazy talk. I mean, the guy's never had a losing Southeastern Conference record, and I get it. If you want to boil it down to we don't know who the quarterback is or if he's any good, I mean, that's about the only summation you hear from people when they talk about Tennessee. And it doesn't seem to matter who the quarterback is. They rotate them every year. They have a different starting quarterback since Hendon Hooker, and Josh Heupel finds a way to have a productive offense nearly all the time. The one exception I would say was probably Nico, and that was because they had an elite running game and an elite defense. So I think Tennessee is going to be significantly better on defense, and I think they have the best offensive line returning in the conference. I think they have the most underrated running back in the conference. They've got good receivers. I think Ethan Davis is going to be the best tight end that's ever played for Heupel. So whoever the quarterback is, and I'm not saying he's going to be all SEC, but he's going to be set up to have massive success, I think. So, no, I'm not backing down. I don't care if Chaz Coleman, he's not done anything to help Tennessee. If he's not there, that doesn't affect my confidence at all.
You just imagine like Tennessee kicked to the tires on Brendan Sorsby. Like he's got in-laws or something that live here right up the street or something. I mean, we could live in a world where you think the Chaz Coleman noise is like if you had signed both of him, because Tennessee fans would have been so excited to get two of the top transfers in the portal on each side of the ball. And I mean, like the Coleman thing is big enough a mess, but it pales in comparison, obviously, to what's going on with Sorsby. But that, to borrow a phrase we use a lot around here, would have been the most Tennessee thing ever if you were dealing with both Coleman and Sorsby simultaneously.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And, this is a little bit old school, where you used to develop quarterbacks and now you just go out and buy, the biggest free agent. So I don't know. I understand the hesitancy. People think this may not work out, but again, Josh Heupel, he works wonders with these quarterbacks, and both these guys are uber talented. So I think it's going to work out pretty well for Tennessee. And even if it is George McIntyre, where it seems like everybody's out on him, but let's give him at least a chance. I think he could be highly productive with the weapons all around him.
We were going back and forth today, as you know. I'm sure some of the spreads came out on SEC games, and we saw the Texas-Tennessee number that comes pretty early in September, or early in the season, as it were. Had Texas coming to Knoxville, but a 7-point favorite. We were a little split on that. Some people were surprised. I'm sitting there thinking, honestly, Texas is, at least on paper, kind of a top 5 team. How do you feel about that spread to start things off?
Yeah, pretty much every single one of those that I saw. I never tell people to do parlays because that's just burning your money. But I'm almost parlaying all these Tennessee odds. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win all these games, but to call them underdogs, Texas, A&M, I think they're even a bigger underdog at A&M.
Yes.
Bama's another one. I think the only one they're favored in is Vanderbilt. I think Tennessee is going to be competitive and win a lot of these games. So, yeah, I mean, specifically for Texas, I get it. I would probably say Texas should be favored over Tennessee, but I think Texas is overrated too. To be quite honest with you, last 3 years, they have regressed each season in offensive efficiency. They struggle in the red zone. And again, people will tell you Sarkisian is the top 5 coach. I don't have any clue where people are getting that. And Arch Manning, we all know all the hype around him. Well, before him was Quinn Ewers, who, if you believe the recruiting people, is quite literally the highest rated quarterback prospect of all time. So these are his quarterbacks, and they get worse every year on offense. Explain that to me if he's some genius. So I think Texas is massively overrated. I would probably have him as a field goal favorite over Tennessee.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, Sark's winning the trash talk so far. He's been pretty active talking about Ole Miss.
Bumping his gums,
talking about Texas Tech. And I'm with you, Mike. I think it's like, man, you got to go win. Stop talking.
Well, that was he has been talking, but before that, I don't know how much of this you guys have caught, but he's like dead set on academics and how all their transfers. They're coming to Texas for academics. Will Muschamp earlier this offseason, our guys take real classes. I mean, this is like loser talk you get from Billy Napier. They're setting up the excuses already that the academics are so tough that their $55 million roster just simply cannot compete in this league. So I think they're making excuses for they're going to eventually miss the playoff again.
So like I said earlier, these SEC football coaches, man, the only ones that are more full of it are working up in Washington. So SEC Mike, check out That SEC Podcast wherever you experience podcasts. It is absolutely fantastic. Mike, always appreciate it. The countdown is on. We'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
SEC Mike, Michael Bratton, one more time on the program this afternoon here on Fan Run Radio. And yeah, I love these coaches talking about the academics. Does anybody go to school in this conference anymore?
It's all remote.
When was the last time you heard about somebody being academically ineligible in the SEC?
Years and years.
Cade Mays might have been the last one. What we were waiting on him, like
someone transfer.
Yeah, it was a transfer to go through or
credit or something. But I mean, Cade's smart. Didn't have very good impulse control. But
to assault a Catholic kid, Bear. Retract the clause. I'm sure everything's fine over there at the Butch Bowl. Quick timeout. The shocking conclusion of the drive. The Giants have 20 hits today.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Vitello's boys knocking it around the yard.
Crown them.
Here comes the comeback.
Yes.
They say that it's always darkest before the dawn. Whatever.
God, the final score was 12-9.
Yeah,
though.
man.
They had to hold them off.
Got to win a shootout every now and then. The shocking conclusion of the drive coming up. Speak now, forever hold your peace. 865-966-3435. Back to wrap it up after this.
The Drive. Tony Basilio, the official voice of the common fan.
of the drive. Russell, Bob, and Bear back with you, and we'll do the TV shows thing here in just a second. First, I wanted to read this comment from Jay Johnson on it's not the baseball coach at LSU, is it?
I don't know.
It's our Jay Johnson. Says, hey, Russ, I'm 53 now. My mom was a secretary in the office and worked for Majors and Cafago, two great men that made sure a single mom got her kid everything at Christmas.
The legend continues, right? That's a great story.
I love the wholesome Major stories.
Yeah.
King Johnny.
Those are good ones.
Yes.
Also, it has been brought to our attention that it was 5 years ago today that Drew Gilbert officially launched Tennessee baseball into the big time. The shot heard around the world. Still, it's kind of like the college football, beating Florida State for a national championship is, probably the biggest thing we've ever done in my lifetime anyway. But there are a bunch of games that I remember more fondly than just that game. Like winning the national championship in 2024 was obviously the peak of the Vitello era. But that game against lowly Wright State, that moment
right
is just stands head and shoulders above all of them for me of the Vitello era.
I mean, if I had to put my top four, it'd be that one, the Clemson game.
Just wondering why you went with four here. Clearly not what you have.
I had the other two, and now I just started drawing. I'm too listed out. I'm looking at my TV show. I've been looking at my TV show list.
All right, who wants to go first? Best shows of the 2010s, and we'll do the 20s tomorrow, and then we'll be through with this. We'll move on to our next off-season show filler.
I went first yesterday, so one of you guys can go.
Bob, why don't you take a crack at it?
All right.
Best show, and again, all the show has to take the seasons. Majority of the seasons have to have taken place in the 2010s.
There's going to be a couple obvious ones that I'll probably leave for you because, again, my list has 10 shows on it. So I'm trying to economize here. So I'm going to leave one or two out that'll probably end up on your guys' list.
If you got 10,
you got to come up with your top five.
All right, my top five then, without a couple that I think are going to still come up, but I like them too. I'm a TV nut. What can I say? For me, Veep, right at the top.
Okay.
One of the smartest, most clever, funny as hell shows I think I've ever seen. Julia Louis-Dreyfus dropping F-bombs like she was in sixth grade,
really?
Man.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Fantastic.
Never seen it.
Didn't make my list, but it's
I don't know how I feel about Elaine with a potty mouth.
It's fantastic.
Sexy.
She's the country's vice president in the show. It's great. It's great. How about The Americans?
I didn't think anybody was going to get that one.
The Americans is on my list. Very, very good.
Loved the first two seasons.
You familiar with it, Russ?
Oh yeah.
It's no surprise Bear loved it, right?
It took me a while. Well played, though. Bear was really pulling for the protagonists.
KGB agents that are undercover in the U.S.
All right. So I get bogged down here.
Pulled at the heartstrings, did it?
Yes. Homeland. Anybody liked Homeland on Showtime?
Yeah, I thought they probably should have ended it sooner than they did.
Yeah, probably so. It got a little deep, but boy, the first couple of seasons were phenomenal as far as the tension and everything else.
The one, I guess it topped out probably at season 4.
Yeah.
They should have shut it down.
That's 4?
That's
Is that 5?
That's 3.
3? Oh, wow.
3.
Okay.
That's 3. Silicon Valley. Mike Judge.
I haven't seen any of these except for like a season of The Americans.
Silicon Valley, fantastic. Just a bunch of, nerds.
Mike Judge?
Mike Judge created it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Funny as hell.
I'll have to look into that. Taking notes here.
And then these were 2 limited run series, but I have to mention them. So that gives me 6. So sorry. Chernobyl and The Pacific.
I wasn't going to have Chernobyl as just a fur. It was just. That was incredible television.
You doing the Pacific, the World War II
Yeah.
series? Oh yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah,
that was good.
And and I know there's some omissions there, but I'm assuming you guys are going to hit those. So those were mine in addition to some others.
All right, I'm going to hit my 5 real quick because I've got 5 different ones, but these are big ones. And I think these are probably some of these. Number 1, Game of Thrones.
Sure.
Just elite television, even though there was certainly a drop-off towards the end. Hard series to wrap up, especially when the books aren't done. Shout out to my good personal friend, George R.R. Martin, who I met 10 years ago today.
There you go.
Number 2, I'll go with Breaking Bad.
Good
Again,
choice.
just phenomenal storytelling. Vince Gilligan, just great acting too, especially by, that was that guy's crowning, Bryan Cranston, his crowning achievement there. Great characters as well. Gus Fring, oh my God, so many great villains in Breaking Bad. Number 3, I'm going to go House of Cards.
I had it close to my list, but that last season, man, that was.
I don't even know if I ever saw it.
It was rough.
It petered out for sure, but man, the first couple of seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Groundbreaking, different, massive performances by both Spacey and Robin Wright. Just great. Number 4, True Detective Season 1.
Damn you.
Was maybe, that might be the best single season of television ever produced.
It's up there.
Just phenomenal. And then number 5, I'm going to go with Mad Men. Great writing, great characters, great stories.
I didn't keep Mad Men in there for the reasons we were talking. They started in like 2007.
And I thought, the 2 series on, obviously True Detective was a standalone season, but Mad Men and Breaking Bad came as close to nailing an ending. I've always said it's really hard to wrap up any decent show.
Yeah.
It's just hard to do.
Yep.
But I thought those 2 came the closest to nailing it.
All right. Kind of an order. I had The Affair. It's a Showtime show. It was incredible. Did you never watch that, Bob?
I saw some of it, yeah.
It had really interesting, like halfway through, it would start over at the beginning of the show again, but from the other character's perspective. And it was completely different. So I just thought it was kind of weird.
Bob doesn't sound impressed. I never saw it.
It was all right, but go ahead.
It's good. It had McNulty from The Wire was the lead character in it.
Oh, I like that guy.
Dominic
something.
Dominic West.
I had True Detective Season 1. Number 3, Ray Donovan with Liev Schreiber. That was an incredible show. Had the great, what's that guy's name? He's nuttier than hell. The older actor.
John Voight.
Great show.
This is John Voight's car.
And then the 2, they're neck and neck for me, but number 2 would be Boardwalk Empire with Steve Buscemi. Just an incredible show.
That's been on my list forever.
Yeah.
It's been rated as a show that did not have a bad episode in its run.
Wow.
And then number 1 on my list, I think it's one of the greatest TV shows ever. It's a show called Hell on Wheels. It's about the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. And it's got Anson Mount, and I cannot think of the Swedish or the Norwegian actor's name, but their interactions, he plays this character called the Swede. And it's right after the Civil War. It's an incredible show.
All right. So did we have any overlap? Any that was on all the you didn't have Game of Thrones?
No, I didn't I had it, but I did like Bob did. I had like 12. And
can we narrow it? What's the best show of the decade? It was Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
I think so.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was pretty good, man.
They ruined it at the end because they wanted to do Star Wars.
Yeah.
They didn't ruin it. They just missed the ending. Just because the ending wasn't great doesn't mean the first 5 seasons weren't amazing. All right, let's get Joshy Boy in here. Joshy Boy, what do you think? What was the best show of the 2010s?
I would have to go Breaking Bad, hands down.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys like the drug selling game, I guess.
Russ, so you kind of like me. You want Chad Dallas to get rocked tonight, but
well, no Cheese Dallas slander on here, Joshy Boy. I hope he shuts you guys out.
Oh,
I hope Acuna takes some yards tonight.
You hope that poor Chad Dallas gets a rude welcoming to the big leagues.
Yes.
Give it to him, Josh. Give me a little chop.
All right. Hey, yo, hey, yo,
yeah.
hey, yo, hey.
That sounds
hey,
great.
Yo.
Does it sound good, Bear?
He doesn't even know his own
Bear, I asked you a question. Doesn't it sound good?
No, he sounds horrible.
Bear, I'm talking to you. Speak up a little bit.
One more thing. Walker does a better good job at answering the phone.
Oh!
Yeah, and you're out of here, Joshy boy.
You can tell him he's out of here. He already hung up.
I cut him off. I didn't want to flush him.
I don't think he did.
I got him for his see ya. He stole from Phil.
Walker is ushering his big brother into holy matrimony. Joshy boy, cut him a little break. He's entering into the institution of marriage.
Welcome to the kids' table, Blake.
That's going to do it. Another